and subscribe.
He poisoned our water supply, burned our crops, and delivered a plague unto our houses! He did? No, but are we just gonna wait around until he does?
What time is it?
He got that motherfucking clock. I don't know how to read the motherfucker. Shit, 2:11.
What time is it?
2:45.
What time is it?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't know how to read no time, bro. 5, 10. 10 right there. 10:50.
What time is it?
Oh, 2:55.
What time is it?
11:03.
What time is it?
11:15.
What time is it?
1:35.
What time is it?
Jews are God's chosen people, and the Gentiles must learn their purpose in life is to fight and die for Israel.
Hey, what do you call a doctor who fails out of med school?
What?
A dentist.
Dentist.
Yeah, who needs them? Not to mention the blacks and the Jews.
I don't think he did it. But you know what? Even if he did do it, you know what I mean?
I couldn't find a safe house, so I'm going to hide in the bushes for the night. I have to travel under cover of darkness in order to avoid detection by the authorities. I'll be on my way early tomorrow morning. I'm not going to let them take me back to that insane asylum. I'll keep in touch. Bye for now.
Motherfucking fire truck coming! Right here! It's Shills! Oh,
We got number one victory, Royale, yeah, Fortnite, we about to get down. 10 kills on the board right now, just wiped out Tomato Town. My friend just got down, they revived him, now we're heading southbound. Now we're in my Pleasant Park streets, look at the map, go to the mark sheet. Take me to your Xbox to play Fortnite today. You can take me to Mercy Meyer, but not Loot Lake. I really love to chug with you. We can be pro Fortnite gamers. He says, hey broski, you got some heals and a shield pot. I need healing and I am only at 1 HP. Hey dude, sorry, I found nothing on this safari. I checked the upstairs of that house, but not the underneath yet. There's a chest that's just down there. The storm is coming fast and you need heals to prepare. I've got V-Bucks that I'll spend, more than you can contend. I'm a cool pro Fortnite gamer. Cool pro Fortnite gamer. Take me to your Xbox to play Fortnite today. You can take me to Mercy Meyer, but not Loot Lake. I really love to chug with you. We can be pro Fortnite gamers. La 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 la. We can be pro Fortnite gamers.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful evening today. We made it through another weekend and we're back and blessed on this Monday evening to be given so much wonderful content. Okay, I could use the word drama. There's other words that we could insert in there as well. But dude, sometimes I love my job and it just happens that everything gets stacked up on the same day. Okay, we got a 2011 hate train coming up. We got Staccato charging a yearly fee to fix your handguns. That's funny. We got Fowler Industries, dude, who we gotta call Fowler followers another F word, okay? But we're not 2 hours in yet, so we gotta abide by the YouTube rules. We got Sad Dentists in the chat. It's a good day, okay? It's a great day. We got Geisley unveiling their high car submission, and right now, Lucas Botkin is pulling a very, very funny move and streaming on Culture Warfare podcast. That's why I was late, because I was catching up on their stream. But before we talk about that, Richard, Jake, how is your guys' day going so far?
Yeah, it's always a good day whenever I'm here.
It's a fantastic day, John.
Are you excited, Jake?
I'm so
You seem excited.
There's so much gun news today. Can you believe
That's
it?
right. Well, we're going to start out with what's happening literally right this second. Okay, this is going to be streamception. Apology. Okay, I saw Jake and I got a little excited. We have Lucas Botkin currently streaming on the Culture Warfare podcast right after they released their episode with Isaac Botkin, which I think is very funny to do them back to back. And I kind of think, I don't think they planned this. If I had to guess, Lucas reached out to them and was like, hey, I'll come on your podcast after Isaac's. And Lucas does live streams. Isaac does not. I think Lucas has said no balls, no live stream, no balls, something like that. So they are currently interviewing Lucas Botkin right after Isaac. So do you guys want to watch a couple minutes of this?
Oh, yeah.
We can check it out for a minute. I am definitely going to drop the link in the YouTube and the Rumble chat for you guys. We have, fortunately, made them hit over 300 subscribers. I think this hasn't quite updated. Got over 100 people over there watching right now, plus 450, 500 over here. So let's give this a listen. I was watching the first 15 minutes of it, first 30 minutes of it, because I was, a little late to this stream, as I tend to be. So my apologies, but we're going to streamception. We're going to stream snipe for a minute. Maybe some towers in their chat. I'm not saying to mog their chat or anything else like that, but if you wanted to do so, you certainly could erect some towers in their chat, okay, to let them know that the Focus Trip Squad is here.
Not either. I didn't have my own attorney, which that would have been cool. Attorneys are pretty cool.
I'll take attorneys suck.
How it is.
What's your opinion on attorneys?
And even going
if
back,
I have to have one, I want a Jewish one because they do the best work.
Which a lot of people don't understand. So I get really laser focused, to the point of it being a problem because I didn't even think it was that big of a decision. I was just so focused on the thing that I love that
Well, you guys cannot spell.
Didn't care like what was going on. So that's my perspective. People could try to say it was different. But I know how I was wired back then, and I was wired that way in 2019, 2018. Like there were other things happening in that time, and I was just so focused on, I was flying out to California to mocap for Call of Duty, and then these YouTube videos are getting 500,000 views within 2 days, and I have classes for Green Berets that I'm doing. Like there was a lot of cool stuff going on. I didn't want to be bothered with some in my opinion, dumb ownership stuff.
Yeah.
And I should have been, but my stuff was way cooler than that, in my opinion. And I mean,
damn.
But
just a line of letters, dude.
For not being able to disengage.
I'm just watching the chat. I have no idea what he's talking about right now.
Come back, then get right back
in. Best part.
But that takes. It took me.
What was it on Friday? Everybody was arguing.
I think most people would take that long to develop.
Was it Islam in chat?
They were arguing
in and out of things
on Friday. I think they were arguing about Lucas being a non-Trinitarian.
And I probably don't do it as well as I could or should.
Oh, that's right. They were talking about the Trinity.
So it's a combination of things.
I'm saying he wasn't a Trinitarian. There was some other doctrinal thing that they were arguing about, and I was like,
neuron activation.
What do you? Oh yeah, that he was a.
You guys remember Quran?
They were saying he was a. They were saying he was like a
when you see that, like especially as like a 19-year-old kid, it's like, bro, you don't care about that.
Charlie,
I was a 19-year-old
in chat. Speaking of the things, Charlie Cox in chat, hoping Richard well. Very kind of you, Charlie. Hope you're doing well.
That's the book you need to write when you figure out.
Well, we're not going to actually snipe them live the entire time because listen, if there is some really cool family drama / info that we want to get into later on, like on Wednesday, we'll just bring it back up. But I'm not going to make you guys sit through like a 2-hour live stream of us live streaming a live stream. Okay. We have other things to talk about, fortunately or unfortunately. But once again, I am going to drop that link in chat for everyone. Go give them a like, share, a subscribe, all of the things. Give them a little tickle on your way out. But we're going to get into Sean Strickland. All right. Talking about SIGs. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sean, but he's a guy who, in general, speaks his mind about a lot of things, whether it be people or, modern politics. He's kind of just a guy that talks unfortunately was not on the White House card. That was a couple months ago. If he was on the White House card and he did win his fight, I feel like that could have been like one of the most epic post-fight Mike moments, post-fight interviews of all time. If he just like looked at, Trump and everyone else and called everyone a pedophile, something like that would have been really funny. Probably not the look they were going for, so perhaps a wise idea to keep him off the card, but I digress. So he's been getting into guns a lot more lately. He's been kind of interacting with some gun tubers, he's been talking with the peeps. And he was famously not too long ago on the Sean Ryan show, which is like number 2, number 3 biggest podcast in the world. Obviously gifted some cigs. And well, the other day he's been having some issues with his Sig Sauer handguns, and he has some thoughts and opinions on them. And Sean being Sean, don't really hold back much. So let's go ahead and listen to him. Now I had to blur the footage because he is waving a gun in his car, as all good Americans do. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but if I'm anything after work, whatever it might be, I'm in the car, I'm at the stoplight, there's somebody next to me, I'm waving the gun around, as is my God-given right to do as an American, okay? It's show and tell, okay? I don't text and drive, I show and tell and drive.
You guys, I'm so fucking done with SIG, dude. I love my 365, feels great, shoots great, but the fact that SIG as a company knows that there's a known flaw in this gun, that after 3,000 rounds or before 3,000 rounds, the magazine release is going to fall out of the fucking gun. You still sell the gun. You don't tell people, you don't recommend to fix the gun, you still sell it. SIG, you are a trash company, and I recommend that anybody who carries a SIG switches immediately. Like, this is fucking unacceptable.
Yeah, so very politically correct, as he usually is. Here's a picture that he showed up earlier on here. So you guys, sorry for the SIG recommendations. I've never taken this apart in the mag release, just fell out at the range. Well, I guess I'm a Glock man now. And you have his 365, which the 365 is no longer a 365. Like, what is this? The X macro comp thingamajig. I forget all the letters and numbers. Okay, there's far too many of them at this point. But this... Oh, is it? So, but anyways, it's a 17 round grip, 4-inch barrel with the ported slide, or like a 3.6-inch barrel with the ported slide. So it looks like a 4-inch. It's basically just back to a Glock 19. Congratulations. It's like 0.1 inches slimmer, but it's essentially a Glock 19 with a lot of extra steps. Now, if you go to his original post on here, that is not blurred out for gay YouTube standards, all roads lead to Glock, says Lucas Botkins. Ben Steger, SIG has a way of pissing off a lot of people. Yeah, it is funny that no matter what reason you pick to hate SIG, you can always find a valid reason. Like if you're like, the P320 sucks, not because it accidentally shoots people, but because it's just a terrible handgun that has a tendency to blow up, or I don't like the grip, I don't like how cheap it feels, I don't like how expensive the magazines are, yada, yada, whatever it might be. Like, you're completely valid, right? The 365, whatever else that it might be. Or you can just take the opinion, whether you shot a SIG or not, I really just don't want to take the risk of it accidentally sending a round through my penis or my leg or someone else's leg. There's lots of things that you just don't want bullets to be, or lots of places you don't want bullets to be. And carrying a SIG increases the chances of bullets going where you don't want them to go. What do you recommend for concealed carry? Glock 43X, kick that Sigger bitch off the plane. That's good. That's a very good meme. Congratulations, Howard the Honky. You get a like. Yeah, Ron Cohen, of course. But anyways, that is the drama surrounding SIG, once again kicked off by somebody outside of the traditional gun sphere. But I like when this happens because it kind of overlaps with normies, because Sean Strickland, obviously UFC champion, former champion, current champion after he defeated Hamzat or Kamshot or whatever his name is. And I like to spread the SIG hate around. Okay, it just can't be just the gun sphere that hates SIG. It needs to be everyone. It's got to go worldwide. Okay.
What did Ron Cohen have to say?
I don't think Ron Cohen responded, unless you have a clip pulled up.
I mean, honestly, shout out to Sean Strickland because he's honest, right? He had on the Sean Ryan show like a month ago, he had talked about how he loves SIG. He's like, they don't pay me for this. I just love the guns. And then he's like, but if they do something to piss me off, I'm going to tell everyone about it. He literally said that. So he was glazing Sig, but it turns out that he puts his money where his mouth is, and when they
Yeah, he
piss him
followed
off,
through.
like if
Followed
there's
through
someone
100%.
you don't want to piss off right now, it's probably Sean Strickland because he's gonna make a scene about it. So
He's gonna call you slurs and then call you a pedophile and then back out. You know, it's gonna be great. And then he's gonna jab and teep you for 5 rounds. Okay, absolute American dominance. But speaking of American dominance, okay, this is sad and tragic. But we have Dirty Kid and 1911 Syndicate. Now, this is an exclusive behind the scenes photo that's only available on their Patreon. This was comboed with a video, and I was like, this is not okay, guys. This is like, I mean, I knew you guys were 2011 fans and 1911 fans, obviously, and the homosexual tension was palpable, okay? But that video just went way too far, and I can't show it on YouTube. I can't show it anywhere. In fact, I think it breaks all major social media platforms TOS. So I'm just going to leave that behind the paywall. You guys can go check it out if you want. Absolutely tragic for the both of them. But they were both, after their session together, after their coitus, okay, they had to take it out, some of that extra rage that they had laying around, on Ben Steger. When I put in the thumbnail riding a unicorn, I thought that was quite a funny photo. But yes, that is actually their live reaction to Ben posting a video on their Fowler, on their precious Fowler Vanta 9 or whatever the model is. I'm going to be real, guys. I don't care what the model is. All I know is Fowler is one of those hype beast brand 2011s that is essentially a custom shop that charges you like $6,000 for a 2011. Okay. Now, I'm not a prude when it comes to expensive firearms. Okay. I understand that people have different budgets and different, wants and needs. And there are, in fact, dentists among us. Don't be too scared, but there are, in fact, dentists out there who will look at this and be like, that's not that bad of a deal. I would love to have a Fowler. It was on Dirty Kid. That was on 1911 Syndicate. The real estate bros talking about handguns. That's always a good combination, right? Surely they have good taste and are not biased retards. So I'll buy a Fowler. I'll never shoot the thing. But Ben, does shoot quite a bit. And he ran into a example of this Fowler that did not run whatsoever. It didn't like certain magazines. And then, of course, you blame the magazines. And then it didn't want to feed or extract or do anything, really. It's basically just a worthless piece of junk. In fact, I wonder if we can just listen to it, because obviously I can't have Ben waving the thing around on camera, as we're all prone to do. Okay, Sean Strickland, waving a gun around on camera. Just waving a gun around on camera is an American thing.
Folks, this is actually the singular biggest piece of shit gun that I've ever tried. I don't think Fowlers in general are this way, but this particular example is no good. It's been tried 3 times. It was stovepipe. It was taken apart and cleaned. Then the slide got stuck to the rear position somehow in the middle of shooting on attempt 2. It's disassembled, reassembled perfectly. And now, look at this. Like, you cannot get the mag. We've tried beating it out of here while holding.
Beating it out. Okay, listen, you got 1911 Syndicate a little too excited right there. But yeah, the magazine gets stuck when you put the slide to the rear, which I think is hilarious, right? Now, of course, all the Fowler, dude, I wish we did this like 2 hours into the stream, because like it just rolls off the tongue, okay? Fowler Flaggots, okay? You know what I'm saying, okay? That should be their nickname. That's their national mascot, okay? But they're going to complain that, oh, well, actually, you don't have the special base plates. So even though it's an Atlas mag, it actually needs a special base plate to not get bound up in the gun. So actually, that's your fault. Could you please put in the right magazine with the $6,000 gun? Actually, it only runs like, it's like certain cars where it's like, oh, you didn't put the right additives in the fuel. So yeah, it's bricked right now. Sorry, bro. That's going to be an engine out replacement service. It's fine, bro. Don't worry about it. Fowler
Can you imagine the amount of emails that they're going to receive after this of people saying, does it take Glock mags?
Well, you know what's funny? Okay. Fowler's response, I have to say, is actually really good. Like the company itself, their response was really good. Their influencers and shills and retards their response is what made it bad, not Fowler, because Fowler does comment on this and they have a really reasonable response. And I'd say Ben's take is rather reasonable. Like Fowler's in general probably aren't this bad, but this one specifically certainly is. This is a work of art of how bad it is. Okay. And we're going to get into the influencer cope, that being mostly Dirty Kid and 1911 Syndicate, which is funny for a lot of reasons. So, Vanilla Gorilla, Extractor needs tightening and use Atlas mags. That is an Atlas mag in the gun right now. Quite funny. Fort Knox Podcast, who we need to get him on the stream. Because again, he has interesting opinions on things, okay? Seeing that Fowler Industries is in your comment section telling you that gun needs to come back to them tells the story that you didn't reach out to them with the issue first, and you made this video for clicks and rage bait. Or maybe you're just... I never get that. Like, if your gun blows up, like I just posted a video to Instagram today of the Fusion Firearms XP Pro Comp thingamajig blowing up for a second time. And it's just like, I don't have to comment or ask the company before I put out a video on a gun that I paid for. Now, in this case, to add another layer, this gun is not in the United States. It's actually across the world being used by a head of state. So it is not just able to go back to the factory. You know, UPS isn't just going to come pick it up and go drop it back off at Fowler. Okay. It is not across state lines. It's across nation lines. It's currently in the Middle East being used by a head of state where Ben is hanging out with cool people. Okay. So I find that aspect very funny. Now, Coach Griff Shoot says, I've had every single one of these issues, every single one, hammer follow, mags not dropping, and an absolute horribly fit shaped disconnector. Sent it in 3 times, and each time it came back exactly the same. Worst effing POS I own. Let's see. All road leads to Glock. That's kind of just the standard take everybody has. Now, the reason why this is one of Ben's posts at all is where he's at. He has access to so many different firearms. Hundreds of different firearms, thousands of different firearms, anything from generic Glocks to, again, $10,000 custom 2011s, right? Because, again, where he's at, the guy likes what the guy likes. Okay, now let's get into the drama. Now, fortunately, I did not have to screenshot all of these. I think Arrow in the Discord went through and screenshotted all of these for me so that I don't have to search around. That was very kind of him to put them all in there. All right, so Dirty Kid. Okay, well, actually, maybe we should do a little bit of a poll here with the panel. Dirty Kid, what are your guys' thoughts before we get into the shill accusations of Dirty Kid? Don't everybody speak up at once.
Oh, sorry, what?
Well, before we get into... You're good, yeah, drink your beer. Before we get into... the content of their character, so to speak. What do you guys think about Dirty Kid in general, right?
Oh, I don't like them at all. I think they're...
But they have shirts that they sell, Jake. You don't like the shirts that they say? Well, you don't think taxes are gay is really based, Jake? You don't think that's really cool and edgy?
I'm glad. Good for them, man.
ATF is gay.
Just call everything gay. I don't know, man.
This is like millennial humor where they have one thing and it's like, then they just run with it, right? What if I just call everything gay? Taxes is gay. NFA is gay. ATF is gay. Isn't that funny? And you just run the joke.
I want to say when I was like 15, I called everything gay, and I thought that was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. What if you just never mature, Jake? What if you appeal?
It's retarded and gay. Okay.
Just gotta say.
True. Yes.
I guess that's an option to just not mature. Also, the few clips that I've seen of theirs, there's always somebody naked. I'm not sure why. Someone's always naked on the range.
There's always something about these guys. It's almost like the PSR thing. Like I like PSR. I've talked to them. I don't have any problems with PSR, but there is a little bit of they fall into that homoerotic humor, right? Where it's like supposed to be ironically funny, I think, And there are times where, you make a gay joke to your fruity friend who wears a mask on a show, and it's like, that's funny, right? In context, right? Like we all get that. But then there's sometimes where you're like, maybe, I don't know if this is a joke anymore or this is just getting a little weird. So that's Dirty Kid, massively popular. They have huge social media, huge YouTube, huge Instagram. mostly just sell shirts. And I don't know why, but because someone is effective at selling, garbage millennial humor slop, I guess you could say, their opinions for some reason get respected on anything. It's like I sell t-shirts with millennial humor, therefore respect my opinion on high-end 2011s. I don't think so. It's like the OnlyFans model who drives a Porsche and you're listening to her opinion on cars. It's like, I don't really think so. I don't think I value what you do here. I don't think your input is really all that useful to the situation. Thanks, though.
If I need advice on lying, cheating, and stealing, that's my first pick. But cars, no thanks.
All right. Dirty Kid says, essentially, yeah, don't tell the internet your steak wasn't good. Tell the restaurant. Nobody is perfect. If they're not interested in trying to make it right, then by all means, sound the alarm. Now, this might come as a shock to Dirty Kid, but there is like an entire genre of website dedicated to telling people that your steak is not good. Some would say that's like the point of a lot of these reviews on restaurants or on food or on anything, is to tell people when it's not good. If I receive a steak and it's like, a piece of iron or something like that, or it tastes like rubber and there's a fingernail in it, I feel like I'm entitled to say whatever I want about it. I am the one who paid for it after all. So yeah, I get to leave my opinion and I don't have to, see if the restaurant will fix it for me first. I can be like, yeah, their service sucks. The steak was terrible. They had Indians in the kitchen, automatic no-go. I did not eat it for fear of my own health, right? Absolutely retarded. Ben Sticker responds, yeah, F all that. The internet has gotten literally play-by-play of every warranty claim that I have done with Staccato, which we'll talk about in just a second as well. For example, the fact is Fowler Industries sold a piece of shit example of their work to a head of state. If they have that level of care for him, I have zero confidence for anyone else. True. You have no responsibility to a company that you handed money to be nice for any reason. You don't owe them anything. In fact, quite the opposite. Shocker, they owe you the product that you paid for, right? Damn. The cope does continue, though. Do not worry. There's plenty of this. There's like 20 tabs of cope, okay? Dirty Kid then accuses Ben of essentially sabotaging the gun, I guess. Who's to say that the gun didn't function just fine when it left the manufacturer? I guess we'll never know because you threw them to the internet before giving them a chance. Give Fowler a chance to address the problem. You didn't. It's the meme about the fat, retarded Reddit guy like saying, leave the $1 million corporation alone. Don't hurt them. It's like, I gave them $6,000. Like, I feel like I'm entitled again to say whatever I want about them. It's so lame. It's so boring. Why are we trying to protect again these tiny little companies that are selling $6,000 handguns? It's like, I feel like they can handle a little bit of criticism. And again, Fowler's response is way better than their influencers. Their influencers will make them look way worse, which is the double-edged sword of influencers, right? If you have, Rape Murder Man repping your brand, and then he goes out and does his namesake to a bunch of people, well, it's gonna, you might get some sales because he's good at one thing, but then he also does the other thing. Double-edged sword. You got to be careful who's repping your brand, okay? Dirty Kid, a little bit emotional, not mature enough to handle criticism at all, I would say. And again, he's not even the manufacturer. He's just buddies because they have like a custom one or something like that, or some promotional job that they did with Fowler, so they have emotional investment in him. Again, being emotionally invested in a piece of metal, essentially, right? A paperweight in this case, it's silly. Like, who cares? Like, the amount of people who get emotionally invested in material objects is kind of pathetic, right? It's like if I insulted your cell phone, Jake, and you're like, no, my cell phone is fantastic. It's actually, it was you got to protect those children who assembled that in Taiwan, okay?
John, I'll have you know that 4 Chinese children worked very hard, and one of them didn't even make it.
Yeah.
They
Well, one
die.
of them got caught by the suicide nets, which do not have 100% effectiveness, by the way. Okay, so he took
So
a
I
risk
take
with that.
pride. I take pride in this nightmare square that I hold.
Yeah. Richie says 6K. That's the better make me breakfast for 6K. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but therein lies the problem. I guess we can give you kudos for giving Staccato the grace to fix their issues. But no, again, he did the exact same thing with Staccato when they had a problem. He just said, "Hey, they have a problem. I'll send it back to him." He did that for all of the guns that did that.
You have a problem.
Ben Steger. This gun was bought directly from Fowler, and it is the singular biggest piece of crap I have ever seen. It is unacceptable that the gun went out like that in the first place. True. Just like with Staccato or anyone else, what happened with the gun is what happened. Returning to the Staccato example, the internet was aware of the issues with the guns before Staccato was. That's how that works. Your attitude on this is bewildering to me. And again, he keeps going. He can't stop. Dirty Kid. I think it's a shit position to not bring up the issue to the manufacturer and not let them attempt to fix it before you disparage them on the internet. Doesn't matter who they are. No, again, you have no duties to the company that you paid money to. Now, you might have a duty to a company if they paid you money to defend their product, or if like I was in testing on a prototype or something, right? I might have a duty to inform the company of an issue that I find if I'm getting paid to prototype for them, right? Because I actually have some sort of responsibility there to the company. But in this case, Ben's just a consumer. It's not even his gun. It's somebody else's gun. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't have any responsibility to protect the company from criticism. You know, like, why are we so like corpo shill, for lack of a better term? Why do we default to the company rather than the people spending their money on it? Now, again, me as a third party here, I feel like if you spend 6K on a Fowler, you kind of deserve it. You know, it's kind of like the girl who's not covering up quite right. You might be asking for it. Okay, I don't quite feel that bad for you, right? We're all on the same page there. We all agree with that. Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny because Dirty Kid in this scenario, they have the mindset of the manufacturer sending out a gun for a YouTube review. That's like their mindset. Like,
right.
Just like, you know, if there's something wrong with it, just like let us know first and then we'll fix it, and don't tell everybody about it.
Well, because you know why? It's probably because that's how he thinks about reviews. That's how he thinks about problems. Yeah. That's how his relationship with companies is, right? Mm-hmm. If he had a problem with a product, he would never go public with that. Are you kidding me? He's telling you right now. If he lose his money that he would have gotten from that glowing endorsement of whatever product it is. Well, yeah, I mean, he's literally telling you. It's like, no, if I had a $6,000 gun that literally did not work, I would never tell the internet that. Are you crazy? Are you crazy, bro? We don't have any monetary connection or anything to gain from Fowler besides fans of their products, and they probably sent you stuff for free, and you're friends with them. You're sharing screenshots and calling everyone shills is pretty telling in itself. We can agree to disagree, I suppose. Like, again, dude, I wish we were over 2 hours in, bro. But you're not sharing screenshots. You're leaving public comments on an Instagram page on somebody who has like 120,000 followers. Like, these are quite public. Like, there's nothing private about any of this, you retard. This is like, I don't know, me posting to X and then somebody reposting it being like, hey, stop sharing my screenshots around. It's like, well, no, you posted it to a public platform. It's fine. Dirty Kid, if you aren't being paid by Fowler, then I'm even more confused, says Ben Steger. Like, this is crazy. They send out a total lemon piece of garbage. I can talk about it all I want. For real, what is your interest in this if not financial? I think it's just his mentality. Mm-hmm. Now, he could also be, shocking here, a liar, right? I'm not saying that he is, but I'm saying that that's definitely a possibility here, that Dirty Kid might just be straight up lying to you and might have some financial incentive here to protect Fowler, right? Because again, they're fans of the product, probably have free product, lots of money in free product when that's $6,000 a pop, right? So I'm just saying it's a possibility here that you are financially invested in some way, shape, or form. And he goes on and says something again, very retarded. But now, okay, we can't forget the other half of this. That was Dirty Kid, but now we got to talk about 1911 Syndicate. Do you guys like 1911 Syndicate?
I kind of enjoyed watching some of the videos that they did, like the Hunt for Gucci guns. Some of the earlier ones were okay.
Mm-hmm. I used to watch all their stuff.
I didn't know when it was.
There was a point where they got really pretentious. And I was like, they're doing like long video essay style masturbatory like love letters to a handgun. And I'm like, what are we even talking about? It's like you're saying a lot of words here, and there's like emotional music in the background with good looking B-roll. And it's like, it looks nice, but this is retarded. Like, you're not actually saying anything of substance. There's a lot of words coming out of here, but you're just like, essentially it's self-fellatio. It's like, this is just retarded. And so at some point I'm like, well, I don't actually trust anything you say. And then there was a couple of reviews where I'm like, you're just so wrong about this. Like, so wrong. It's there's no value in anything else that comes out of your mouth after this. So I'm just like, I'm checked out. That was probably 3, 4, 5 years ago, basically. Yeah, it's car reviews, but for guns. And cars are just famously like, oh, the emotional aspect of the feel of the wheel and the vibrations of the tires as I effortlessly carve through corners on this. It's like,
So
what
it's
are you
like Top
talking
Gear.
about?
It's like Top Gear for guns, but gay.
No, it's not even. Well, Top Gear would be funny, right? That's the problem. Is this is like,
But gay.
it's the same thing as the guy on the range who's doing the epic music, and he's having like the monologue of like, I am the best, I am the standard. When evil sees me, it cowers and backs down. It's that level of like
You talking about
ego
trench
and
grenade?
retardation. I didn't say that. I didn't
sorry.
say that. But
Sorry.
anyways, 1911 Syndicate had to get into it, okay? And I'm happy they did. Glad that you did, bro. 1911 Syndicate. It's a cool hit piece, but just a few facts. All right, bro. A hit piece. Again, just posting up issues of a $6,000 handgun is a hit piece now. All right, bud. All right, bud. Hey, zip it up when you're done with it, okay, dude? The gun probably did have an issue. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that. Thank you for that. Very kind. Certainly uncommon on Fowler's, but no one is exempt from having an issue here and there. Fowler was never contacted that the gun wasn't working and was never given the chance to help diagnose the gun before either post was put up. Fowler, taken apart and tuned by gunsmith per instructions, is a total lie. No gunsmiths were involved and no instructions were provided by Fowler because they were never contacted. Now that's interesting. Okay, we'll just keep going for a second.
You have the follow up.
I have the follow-up. Just wait 1 month. So all of this was put up to burn Fowler. That's right. It's just a hit piece. Why do you hate them? It's a hit piece. For what purpose? No clue. But Ben knows that everything I just said is correct. I know all that because I am the point of contact between the owner of the gun and Fowler and have been trying to connect all parties for the last day to help find a solution. So yes, that's right. 1911 Syndicate has been the liaison between the owner and Fowler. So when he says Fowler has not been contacted, well, he's the contact right now, bro. So what he's saying there might be like technically true, but he's the one doing all of it. And in fact, he's the one giving them advice on how to fix it, on how to resolve the issues. So Ben Sager follows up. It's Befel's gun, who is the leader of the PUK. I want to say, right?
What is the PUK?
Let me pull it up. Okay, what is it again?
Something in Iraq.
Yeah, it's again they're out of country, head of state somewhere else. You can look it up. He has a public Instagram and X account. You can just
It says Iraq in Ben's comments. So
yeah, Befel is the current leader of the PUK in Kurdistan. So
okay,
that's where he's at. So it's Befel's gun, and he posted below. He tuned it per an intermediary's instructions. That would be you, referring to 1911 Syndicate, because yes, 1911 Syndicate was the go-between on all of the issues that they were having with it. So 1911 Syndicate is just straight up lying when he says that no gunsmith instructions were given. You were the one instructing them. What are you talking about? Is he saying, well, I'm not a gunsmith, so therefore no gunsmith was consulted? But he was the one who was trying to fix the issues, and he was the one who gave them commands on or instructions on what could be the cause of some of the issues, because he's the go-between between Fowler and Befel in this case, right? So he tuned it per an intermediary's instructions. That would be you. He hasn't been able to make it work in the months he has had it. Obviously, it isn't going back to the US from Iraq. He is plenty qualified to gunsmith. This is as far as I'm concerned. I don't care about Fowler stuff one way or the other. You guys sure seem emotional about it. He will deal with you guys in his own time. Dudes on your side of the fence are being retarded and gay, something or other. Now, it wasn't just those two, okay? Those two are the biggest cheerleader tards, 1911 Syndicate and Dirty Kid, of course. It would serve them a lot of good just to shut up, okay? I'm going to give them the Trip PR firm advice that I give to almost everyone. Just shut up, right? You don't need to insert yourself in somebody else's drama to defend $1 million company selling $6,000 lemons to heads of state out of country. You just don't need to do that. You don't need to make it emotional, because once you make it emotional, it's going to blow up even more, of course. And so now you give Ben a couple videos worth of content on it, and suddenly, instead of 10,000 people seeing it, now 100,000 people have seen it. Congratulations. You just ruined Fowler's name on their behalf accidentally through your retarded actions. Like, literally, if I was Fowler, I would reach out to these guys and be like, can you please delete your comments and then apologize to Ben for being emotional about it?
Do you know how many people didn't know who Fowler even was until this happened?
This guy.
I'm sure Richard is raising his hand as well.
Well, that's the thing. You think that this is AI, but this is just like one of their photos, bro. I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
He actually had to use AI to put pants on them.
Yeah, well, the video was disgusting. Okay, I can't believe two men can fit together like that. So anyways, Fowler boys are big mad. It's true. Let's be clear here. A $6,000 gun should not have to be sent back to the manufacturer to run properly, period. Very true. It seems like every single Fowler owner is in here saying, just to send it back, they'll take care of you. Mine came back in days. Why is it acceptable that nearly every owner has sent their gun back for work in these threads? It's like, Fowler will take care of you. Fowler will take care of you. It's like, why are they taking care of you? You know? It's like, I get that everything breaks at some point, you know, but when dentists own your gun and are shooting like, what, a couple hundred rounds a week at most, right? Maybe a couple hundred rounds a month, more realistically, like, right? When dentists are sending their guns back to be fixed all the time, I feel like you should just get a different gun, okay? You know what? That's the thing. It's 2026, okay? It's not 2015 anymore. There's not 3 custom 2011 shops with a 10-year waiting list, you know? You can get one from dozens of manufacturers right at your local gun store, you know? You want a 2011 that works? There's going to be racks full of them at any major box store, any major retailer in the country. Sorry to break it to you. You know, you're no longer special. $6,000 for a gun that is essentially a paperweight or needs a lot of work to get running is not worth it for anybody outside of a dentist, basically. Sorry, dentists. I know dentists get a lot of hate in this chat, but it is what it is, okay?
Now, how
I feel like
what's up?
I feel like expensive 2011s and like botched dental work, they have a lot in common.
Ooh.
There's a lot of overlap. You know, they did a really good job. And when I had to go back for them to fix it, it was so quick and easy.
It's true. Fowler blocked me because I told them how they are playing the victim card and not owning up to making a $6,000 lemon. This is effing insane. Talk about being influenced. They shared someone's post on their story about how you were disparaging the company, saying a pile of trash is just facts. I hate that. A company's like, why are you disparaging us? It's like, how is talking about your product that doesn't work disparaging you? It's just reality, dog. Now, Hunter Freeland shooting. Yeah, again, you have to insert yourself in here. I don't know why you do this. Hunter, why do you do this? Is it because you don't like Ben? That's what it really is. A lot of these people, it's just, I don't like Ben, so I'm going to insert myself into this drama and take a shot with the other Fowler owners, okay? Wonder why Ben and his followers are so emotional over this gun. This particular gun is just a piece of crap, your response. The people shilling for it have convinced me to never give Fowler another look. Get a mirror, Hunter. This one is on you guys. Now, Hunter shoots a Fowler, so he is actually financially invested with Fowler. In fact, he has a custom one, a special Vanta with his name machined into the grip. So he is definitely If not, I don't want to say on their payroll, okay, but he has some financial incentive, okay. Whether he's buying 20 grand worth of pistols from him, or whether he's just, got given one or got a few perks here and there, who knows, okay. But there is definitely a little bit of a relationship there between Hunter and Fowler. So if you want to make yourself look bad, just do whatever Hunter Freeland here is doing, okay? Get emotional, defend company that sends out crap product. I mean, this is what PSA people does. Somebody said it in chat, but this is PSA brain, right? And what's crazy about that is, like, PSA guys do it because they have no other option, right? Because they're poors, right? And I don't even say that to denigrate them, right? If you have $499 and you need to get an AR, and then you see somebody online disparaging your AR, well, it's all you can afford. So of course you're going to disparage it. But if you're the opposite of that, if you're a rich, and I mean that to denigrate you, right? If you're somebody who has more money than sense and you just have to defend your product because you spent a lot of money on it, like, you're basically a PSA guy, but you have options. So it's actually worse for you, right? Because you could have done anything else with that money. PSA guy, he didn't have any other options, right? He was held over a barrel and then beaten over the head with retarded influencers saying that PSA was just as good, okay? But you're a rich, okay? You had options and still chose to go down this pipeline. All right. From a follower, because shills are disparaging him for sharing his personal experience on a product. Companies occasionally have lemons. It is what it is. Oh, yeah, that's assuredly the problem, says Hunter. Obviously, anytime there's an issue with a product, immediately dismiss it. Okay, that's what you should do. As someone who runs a company, anytime there's an issue with your product, immediately dismiss it. Blame the audience. Immediately dismiss it. Blame the audience. Move on. Call them liars. Call them shills. Call them retards. Do it quick. Okay? Totally worth it. At least you're open about Fowler helping you keep your lights on, so I understand doing tricks on it. But the outburst in response to Ben makes it seem like y'all are trying to save a sinking ship. Is the reputation that fragile? It does make it seem really fragile, doesn't it? Right? If you have to be overly defensive about a product, okay, here's the thing. I have the most critical video on the Sons of Liberty Gunworks Mark I. It is also a product that I think is overpriced. It's fine, good even, in a lot of aspects, but I think it's overpriced. And I have the most critical video of it online. Does Sons of Liberty Gunworks care? Not particularly, right? Mike has talked to me multiple times. Mike has, is helping with things behind the scenes and doing other cool stuff that I personally appreciate, right? Is Mike upset? No. Right? It's like, there's some issues that he's tried to clear up in terms of his marketing, but that's his marketing that he has to clear up. That's his job, not mine. The entire reason people have fallen out of love with GunTubers and Gunfluencers summed up in one screenshot. We don't have any monetary connection or anything to gain. Yeah, right now, but if this dude came out and agreed with you, Fowler definitely wouldn't be calling him in the future. I'd argue your channel's biggest draw is that you're honest about guns and products. It's a breath of fresh air in the space where nobody has anything negative to say about the products placed in their hands by manufacturers. Well, he's not the only one, but he does a very good job at it for sure. Let's see. Modern Samurai Project. Oh, that's hilarious if that's true. Bro, if Hunter was in the Modern Samurai Project and then Scott kicked him out, that would be even funnier, right? Because Scott in and of himself is kind of a retard. Kind of a dick. He's not very good. But if Hunter was too much for him, that's even funnier, dude. I love the egos in this space. Hunter Freeland responds, it is no hidden fact that I proudly shoot for Fowler. They're both friends and family, but shooting one of their guns doesn't keep my lights on, lol. The really funny part is how overly eager you acolytes are at sucking off whatever Ben says like it's biblical. I'm almost positive he's not going to do that hung you like. All right. No, go forward. Now go forward this to him like the rest of you wiener fondlers like to do and let daddy do his job. Rather give my time as a consumer to someone honest about their experiences versus someone who's forced to have a certain opinion about, forced to have a certain opinion. You got it, boss. Anyways, so it's just more drama on their side. Sorry, go ahead.
So that's pretty wild.
Yeah. Now, what is funny, okay, is I saved the best for last. And the best for last is actually just Fowler Industries has a pretty normal response. And in fact, the proper response. Fowler Industries should be firing or getting rid of everyone else on their payroll. Okay, just no thanks, no more free guns for you, because these guys did way more damage than Ben did. Ben showing a bad example of a fowler sent to a head of state in another country is like, wow, that's interesting. That's unique. These guys being bitches about it blew it up, right? Made it way more impactful than it needed to be. So congratulations, Hunter Freeland, 1911 Syndicate, and Dirty Kid. Congratulations for dragging Fowler's name through the dirt when you're trying to help them. Good job. Fowler Industries responds, hey, we still haven't received contact direct from the customer, but we have uncovered who the owner is. Yeah, not hard to figure out what example of a Fowler is sitting, halfway across the world in Kurdistan. It's like, I don't know what their sales numbers are in Kurdistan, okay, but I'm guessing it's like single digits, if not one, right? Pretty obvious who it should be. But we haven't covered who the owner is due to the location and difficulties of returning a pistol that has been exported out of the U.S. We are going to be replacing this pistol at no charge, no questions asked. Fowler Industries says, yeah, you know what? You're probably right. That's a bad pistol. You know what? You get a new pistol for free. Our apologies. We're sorry about that. Obviously, it's difficult for them to get the pistol back and fix it, right? So what is cheapest for them and most efficient for them is just to replace it, all right? And to get rid of everybody. If they had led with this before Dirty Civilian or Dirty Kid, sorry, not Dirty Civilian, Dirty Kid or 1911 Syndicate or Hunter Freeland had gotten in there, it would have been so much better for them.
Yeah.
They have the proper response. Like, we're really sorry to hear that, man. It's not easy to get pistols back from over there, so we're just going to send you a new one.
And also, like, they were basically forced to do this in a public comment section because of people like Dirty Kid and
oh yeah.
Because they probably would have rather not done this in public, but they have to now.
Not only did they lose a bunch of sales, right, because of them being retards, but then they're also, I don't know what an export license for a handgun like that is. I don't know what shipping has got to be, okay, but I'm guessing it's between $6K for the pistol, so maybe $10K in total to get it to that guy's residence. I have no idea what it costs, okay, but they're out a lot of money here, not in terms of lost sales, but also sending a second example to the guy. So, and I would recommend making sure that it works. All right, I would test fire it before you ship it. That would help. We are going to be replacing the pistol at no charge, no questions asked, since it clearly has issues. We at Fowler are not happy when things go out that shouldn't. This case is no exception, and that pistol never should have left our facility. Full ownership. Thank you. We stand behind our products so much that I would encourage you to come out for a shop tour, maybe even build you a gun if you'd like. We'll keep in touch. Ta-da!
Wow.
Hey, companies, you want to know how to not be an asshole and make people like you? You could just offer to assuage any concerns that they may have and replace products and take care of your customers, right? You could just do that.
But you have to do it really quickly before
your own retards get in there. It's so true.
Gremlins show up and start making things worse.
What's so ironic though, isn't it?
It's the meme from the community where he walks into the apartment with the pizza and everything's on fire and everyone's just going crazy. It's literally that.
But you know what Ben should do though? Ben should do the tour. Ben should get his own handgun built and then just flex on all the other retards who were whining about him bad-mouthing Fowler. Call it, and you should have their names inscribed into it. Have Dirty Kid, 1911 Syndicate, and Hunter Freeland's names inscribed into the grip because it's funny. Every time you're shooting it, you're reminded of how you got a free 6K pistol. Okay, very funny, and I would do it just to flex on it because it would again be funny. It'd be a bit of a troll.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're still talking about 2011s. All right. The end of an era, dude. It is, again, it's the big 2.6. You want to buy a 2011? Congratulations. Every single manufacturer makes one. Outside of Glock and Smith & Wesson, basically, And if they don't make a 2011, most of them make a steel-framed version of their handguns. So, I mean, it's like 2011s are here, and everybody's making them. You're no longer special. You're no longer cool. And some people are trying to differentiate themselves, This is not the way I would differentiate myself from the competition, but Staccato is taking a interesting step. Now, we knew about this a while ago, but it's just now getting traction from some major retailers taking a stand against Staccato's practices, because I'll spoil it a little bit for you. So Staccato came up with a brilliant idea. Okay, they have their normal warranty, of course, where it's like if it's broken from the factory, they'll replace it or they'll try and fix it or whatever else it might be. But if you want like special warranty and you want like lifetime warranty and you want like special service, you just pay us $200 a year for to fix your handgun. So it's like a subscription service warranty, which is all right. We're going the way of like cars and electronics now. I love that so much. I can't just get my gun fixed when it breaks, because it's a product that you stand behind. I want to pay a subscription service to fix my handgun.
They might as well just start like a leasing program at this point.
Dude, true.
Lease to own,
rent to own. Yes.
Yeah. When you get tired of the old one, you turn it in. They give you a new one. You just keep paying $200 a year.
Yeah. So worse Netflix. It's more expensive than Netflix, that's for sure. Shooter's Choice at South Carolina, big store. After 20 plus years of representing Staccato, formerly STI, and millions of dollars in sales, Shooter's Choice has been removed from Staccato's authorized dealer network effective immediately. We're disappointed, but more importantly, we strongly disagree with the direction Staccato is taking. At Staccato's discretion, remaining new inventory will now be considered used, stripping our customers of the factory warranty. So that's an asshole move, right? So that means anything that Shooter's Choice now sells is now used and therefore does not have any factory warranty whatsoever. Staccato, built for heroes. All right, bud. I mean, if they're moving into mill and LE sales, then yeah, the civilians are just going to be left by the wayside. That's usually what happens, right? Because, I mean, we know that they're testing the 5-inch HD ported thingamajig with Delta. We know that there's other, mill and LE contracts in the works with them with their new HD line of handguns. That's what they're going after, right? So again, do they care about you, the individual? No. The bigger the contract, the less they care about the actual people that built them. So moving forward, warranty coverage will require a $199 annual subscription per item. So Logan runs a couple of Staccato Ps. Hey, you want warranty service on your, $2,500 handguns? Well, listen, you need a $199 subscription for both handguns. So $400 a year for replacements. That's actually good, Subarctic Psycho. Scumcato. Yeah. It's an interesting business proposition, I wonder why Glock or Smith & Wesson or even SIG, hasn't thought of this yet, This is the most Jewish thing in the gun industry so far, and it wasn't thought up of by Ron Cohen. Crazy work, Staccato. Yeah.
It's pretty wild. I mean, hey, man, it's a bold strategy. I think they probably started doing this warranty program because they realized with their existing warranty, they were losing a lot of money. So they had to start charging for it. So that's maybe not a great sign. Maybe a lot of people were utilizing the warranty program. I don't know. That's a hypothesis. But this seems like a pretty good way to totally destroy your business if they stick with it, which I could see them not sticking with it.
Well, I feel like the only way that they won't stick with it is if they get enough pushback. Right. That's it. That's the only thing they care about. Dollars and cents at the end of the day, right? Which to me, their margins have got to be insane, right? They're polymer framed. Some of them are aluminum, some of them are steel. I mean, the grip is what I'm talking about. Polymer grip, steel, aluminum frame for the different models. But like their new HDs, all of the ported versions are like $3,500 to $4,000. It's like, how are you not making money hand over fist? Right? How are you running the company so bad that you're not making just insane amounts of money? Because Staccatos are popular. Staccatos are like the standard 2011, for lack of a better term, right? They have the phrase 2011. They're the only one that's actually allowed to be called the 2011. But we all know what that means, right? I mean, maybe it's just more pressure in the market because Kimber does the exact same thing for $1,000 less. and seems to be, doing it a little bit better in some ways than Staccato. And Staccato's been doing it for a long, long time, especially if you track them all the way back to STI, of course. It just feels like they're trying to maximize everything. It's like companies are that's why layaway is a thing, right? So it's like, how much can we maximize sales while maybe adding in interest, while like getting some cash up front for things? How do we improve our cash flow, and even if only, like, let's say 10,000 people sign up for extended warranty service on their Staccato, it's $200,000 a year of straight profit, right? Essentially,
is it an extended warranty, or is it just warranty?
It's just warranty per year, right?
So
It only lasts for a year, which is crazy.
It's not a special extra warranty. It's just the warranty. If you don't
Yeah,
buy
if you want the warranty, give us $200 a year. Yes, that'll be the ultimate combination, is when you can Klarna your warranty. So you do your 4-pay warranty, which is like paying quarterly car insurance. That's just what that is. It's quarterly car insurance with interest now, which is hilarious. This is a dentist thing, though, isn't it? This always goes back to dentists. Because listen, if you're you and me, like, it's like, oh, you need to replace the extractor. It's not that hard to do. You just replace. It's like, it's not that like, I don't actually. Spoiler alert, I don't actually need the warranty service, right? And I mean, it's like, they're not hand fit either. It's not. They're not a custom shop. They're a production shop. So you can just replace a lot of the parts. There might be a little bit of fitting here and there, but I feel like the average person who's mildly mechanically inclined can figure it out. Dentists, not so much. Not so much. Task Force Tater says, is it even a warranty if you have to continually pay for it? That's a good point. Well, like $200 a year. Let's say you use it every other year because you probably don't shoot very much. And even that's probably a lot, Like, what are you paying $200 to $400 for? Replacing an extractor? You could just go to one of your local gunsmiths for less money and be like, hey, can you replace my extractor? They're going to charge you less than $200. It's like they probably even fit it for you and tune it for you, because extractors sometimes need to be tuned a little bit on those guys.
You could just buy a Glock. I don't know.
You could buy a Glock, yes. For every 2 years of warranty, you could just buy a Glock.
Yeah. That's a lot of Glocks.
Yeah.
I have like a whole bathtub full after a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Especially if you have multiple STIs, right? Multiple Staccatos, right? That's basically a Glock every year. It's a free Glock every year, bro. I'm just gonna have a safe full of Glocks at the end of this. So this to me is just a Glock ad, isn't it? Or a Kimber ad, or any other 2011 ad out there. It's like, yeah, just buy any other handgun. Way better. I don't know. I feel like somehow the gun industry is like, what's really hurting, guys? Sales. Sales are down. You know what we should do? We need to nickel and dime and Semite our way, clip the warranty, so to speak, to try and extract as much wealth from the consumer base as possible. We need to be as greedy as possible. That will get people on our side, surely, right? Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but people just aren't a big fan of that. People are not happy with all this nonsense, and rightfully so. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough about 2011s, okay? We've talked them to death. It's so annoying to talk about. Let's talk about something even more annoying. Bullpups and their owners.
Oh.
And even worse, their designers, bro. Because I woke up this morning or late last night. I think it was like 3 o'clock in the morning last night. I'm just doing my, usual doom scroll or whatever it might be before you go to bed or whatnot. And we talked about John Galt, not his real name, obviously, and the M-Bar, the modular modern bullpup assault rifle, whatever it might be, right? Anyways, he designed it and he showed it off at Goals, I want to say. He had a little YouTube video up there on one of his channels with horrible audio, by the way. We reacted to it. We talked about it. We showed pictures of it and all the other normal things that you do. Well, he was unhappy with the way that we spoke about his precious firearm. he was very upsetty spaghetti with us, and he decided to false copyright strike both of my channels, Focus Trip and Focus Clips, for talking about his firearm. Yes, for commenting on pictures on Reddit, pictures on X, a public YouTube video, which was definitely transformative under the statutes of fair use in the US. 100% fair use. He decided to copyright strike both of my channels, both of them, which was unfortunate. So if you're not familiar with the way that the copyright strike system, not the copyright claim, because you can claim a video and you just like get the revenue or block its viewership in some countries. A copyright strike is a legal process. So it is essentially saying that this person has committed a crime, copyright infringement, and therefore, YouTube, if you do not take this down, you will be sued. Now, I have counterclaimed both videos, which is, again, part of a legal process that YouTube is involved in. So now, legally, this guy who, again, I blocked out his name because I thought that I'll be nice. All right, I'll play a little nice. I'll block out the guy's name, who is actually, it's obviously not John Galt. Okay, but the guy who copyright struck both of my channels, Focus Trip and Focus Clips, and I have counterclaimed both videos, and he now legally has 10 days to actually sue me for copyright infringement, or else YouTube will put both of my videos back up. So usually in the YouTube sphere, one, you never do that because it's a black eye. It's like a false rape allegation, basically. You just don't do it. And if you do it, you should probably be publicly stoned or something like that, right? But because I'm not going to back down, I don't care. If you want these videos to stay down for false copyright striking my channel, if you get 3 copyright strikes, your channels automatically get terminated, right? That is how stupid the copyright system works on YouTube. So this is a attack on me personally and my finances and my family by extension, right? Very annoyed. So he now has 10 days to sue me for copyright infringement, or else both of the videos go back, right? And if he does sue me essentially for copyright infringement, then we'll just go down that pipeline, and that will be even funnier because both of my videos, which is the exact same thing, one's a live stream and one is a clip from the live stream, are definitionally transformative and therefore covered under fair use. So I will happily defend them to the best of my abilities because that will be very funny to go through. And obviously it'll waste a lot of his money, which I'm fine with. And now John Galt 42069 on Instagram and on X preemptively blocked me, dude. What a, again, we're not 2 hours in yet, but okay?
That's so cool.
Preemptively blocked me on Instagram and X so I could not tag him. And this is another thing. It's much like the Fowler Bros. You're not helping yourself, bro. This in no way, shape, or form is bringing positive coverage to your product by false copyright striking people talking about your stuff and then blocking them immediately so I can't even tag you in anything. You're just obnoxious, right? Let me pull up my X post real fast so at least we can have something on screen that's funnier, I suppose. Yeah, so John Galt of the M-Bar, F-tier bullpup, redundant, is a massive individual. 2 false copyright strikes on both my YouTube channels. I'm also preemptively blocked on both Instagram and X. This tard has also taken down forums in the past discussing his quote-unquote project. Obviously, that's not his real name. Disgusting coward. Now, a little bit of lore on this John Galt guy, if you're not familiar. Fosscat was a subreddit on Reddit, of course, discussing all of the, well, Foss stuff, right, for lack of a better term. However, John Galt got upset with them one day, complained to the mods, reported them, and got the whole subreddit taken down because, again, he's a prick and a bitch. So John Galt bragging here, this is the count for 2069. I got the old one banned. I've already reported this one and all the others, right? He's just saying, yeah, I just report everyone. I'm a faggot. I can't take criticism. I'm a loser. I'm a bitch. Please make fun of me. That's John Galt right here. Obviously not his real name. You can look up his patents, though. I'm not a liberal. You act like one. You act like a bitch. All right. I build guns myself. My dispute with the FOSCAD is the fact that they kept harassing me for files over months simply because I refused to work with them and I refused to share my files with them. So you false reported all of the subreddits that they were on and tried to get all of them taken down. Someone on Reddit responds in a useful manner, which is rare. You could have not said anything and we would have forgotten you existed. Yeah. Absolutely worthless human being. But that's just a little bit of an update there on people just can't stop today. Okay. They're just being retards. You got John Galt, you got 1911 Syndicate, Dirty Kid, the Hunter Freeland guy, whatever his name is, just Staccato, right? All these companies just decide to be retarded. Now, John Galt is funny too, because he's obviously trying to market this new bullpup system platform, which is obviously going to fail. It's never going to come to market. I believe that, it's a long shot. Go ahead.
What is the standard for success with a bullpup? Like, even if they do come to market, aren't they always kind of failures? Like, even if they get adopted by militaries, they're still kind of failures. Seems like bullpups are just always bad.
Well, when's the last time a bullpup got adopted by military? Is it Australia 20 years ago?
Israel, maybe?
Yeah,
That's 95.
It's true. Okay. But listen, Israel has a very, very special use case of can it dome a 9-year-old at 100 yards? Okay. When they're scrambling to get food out of the aid packages, sorry, Freudian slip there. Can they dome a Palestinian child at 100 yards? Okay. That's really what that weapon has to be good for.
The one other thing I love about this gun is that it has like the instruction manual written all over it.
Oh yeah.
And his ejection port that looks just like a magwell, he has to make sure to put some lines and some writing there that says ejection port because someone's going to jam a mag in there and have a really hard time with it.
Well,
I think it's all very funny.
As somebody commented, he loves taking mags up the rear, which I thought was very funny. Very funny. Bullpups are an aggressive breed. Very true. Did he really label every part of the rifle? Yes. Power bottom behavior. Why do we keep trying to make bullpups? That's a good point. The irony of using John Galt, the name John Galt, and submitting false claims is astronomical. Yes, very funny. Now, John Galt is from Ayn Rand, right? So we have a libertarian using the system against someone else, which again is very ironic. Very ironic. The bullpup community will never recover from this. Well, they were always gay. Sorry, guys. The bullpup community was always gay. Bullpup guys stay losing. Average bullpup enjoyer. He must have been pissed at the comments. I don't think your video was that harsh. Very true. Very, very true. Very homosexual of him. I think there was a funny comment on one of my ex posts as well. Let me see it here.
Also, like the video that screenshot's taken from of him shooting that rifle where he has like 2 malfunctions with no caption. It's like, man, this isn't a great showcase for your new revolutionary bullpup design.
Yeah.
Really not great.
Well, let's go Glow So Bright. So now people, of course, on my ex post tried to tag him and then just immediately got blocked, right? He was just preemptively blocking everyone. I think Vintage Warfare got blocked. Glow So Bright got blocked. John Shepard got blocked. Again, Dank Tank, thank you for putting that in there, talking about him getting the FOSCAD servers taken down. Now, this was funny, okay? Everything Bullpup decided to comment. Again, you just got to stop. You got to stop doing it, okay? You're not helping yourself. Everything Bullpup comments. I've watched your video on the M-Bar. You said a bunch of uneducated, hot take, sensationalist things. Quote needed. Oh, wait, you can't because the video got taken down. If he rejects your use of his video, perhaps instead of going ad hominem, you could exercise some extreme accountability. As it stands, you're showing your true character, John. That's right. I will take extreme accountability here. The Holocaust was my fault. Okay, yes, extreme accountability only. Okay, that's literally my fault. Okay, all the ones that got away, also my fault. I apologize in advance. Okay. And of course, I just respond, name checks out LMAO for a tasty 10-to-1 ratio. Apologize, bro. He can't, that's the thing though. This, again, retarded faggot. I should just call them flaggots, right? Because they are flagging things, so they should be flaggots. I think that's fair. Flaggots, you can't reject my use of your video because, spoiler alert, once it's transformative content, it's no longer yours, right? It's like if I give a critique of a book or a TV show or a YouTube video or a music video or whatever it might be, as soon as it's transformative, sorry, dog, no longer your content. It's mine now. And transformative is a very low standard and one that I obviously hit. Obviously, we play like maybe 60 seconds of his video and have like 10 minutes of critique. It is obvious that it is transformative and does not replace intentionally or otherwise the original product. It's just obvious. Sorry, bro. Get roasted. Well, that's a little update with me. Now, speaking of another update, I didn't pull up anything for this, so I don't have any visual aids other than Jake on screen. But we only have 2 days left for the government, for the DOJ to appeal the removal of suppressors and SBRs from the NFA. There's only 2 days left on it. They only had 7, right? So they have till the 12th?
I don't know. I'm not sure if it counts weekends. I'm really not sure.
Well, I think I saw a post from Mr. Guns and Gear earlier that said they had 2 days.
End date. Okay.
Well, whether it's 2 days or 4 days, right? If you don't count the weekend, I think it's 2 days. And the DOJ has not done anything yet. So, I mean, it's cutting it close, right? Now, they might just do it on the last day because that's what they were always planning on doing, was just to file the appeal on the last day. It's possible, right? Too many choices.
Hope their internet. Hope your mic just cut out.
Apologies. Back. Go ahead.
Hope their printers and their internet doesn't shut off.
Bro, yeah, I schedule an EMP Wednesday morning over DC. A nuclear device will go off above DC Wednesday, August 12th at my behest to stop them from appealing DOJ's opinion on NFA items.
This is a joke. It's all
This
satire.
is not a joke. No. A nuclear device will go up. Not a destructive, just an EMP. Okay, high atmosphere, high altitude. Okay, you've seen Modern Warfare 2. That's what I'm doing Wednesday, August 12th, above DC. Okay, to make sure that the DOJ does not appeal the federal district's court opinion that the suppressors and SBRs should not be on the NFA, according to the claimants, GOA, and a bunch of the other guys. Right?
Oh boy!
All right, print that out. Put it on a statement.
Alternatively,
when the feds show up, I need to print out a transcript of this live stream
to your house. When they show up to your house,
my address is, writes down Jake's address.
No,
he did it. I was not here. That's true.
I was gonna say, what are the what's the possibilities that they've given up the fight on this one and they're just regrouping on something else and they're just gonna let this one go through?
Well, it would be a little bit of a win for Trump if he just did nothing. Here's my advice. Okay, most of the time, doing nothing is actually the right answer, right? So if they do nothing, remember, this isn't a win for everyone. It's only the claimants right now, right? It would be so GOA members, the people in those 15 states, plus the other people, Silencer Shop, and a couple, I forget, all the claimants. Okay, but then it will be used as precedence to cover everyone in a future lawsuit, right? So then it's only one step away from applying to everyone. NPSA, that's true. Now, my guess is still that they're going to appeal it, but on Wednesday. So Wednesday morning, hence the EMP, right? As we've discussed. So I think that it's cool that there's only 2 days left. Fingers crossed, long shot it doesn't happen, but Wednesday morning, okay, it's either EMP or appeal. All right. There's only 2 options. I don't have any choice, Jake, here. It's EMP or appeal. That's it. I love your reactions, Jake. I hope somebody is framing these. I hope somebody's screenshotting all of these and sending them to me to use in the thumbnails later. All right. Well, anyways, that's enough on that. We'll talk about something else that is kind of interesting, I guess. Okay, drones. Yeah. Drones are ruining everything. Everything in society is ruined by drones and automation and AI. Okay, it's here to stay. It's not going away, but it is making warfare lame and gay. Okay, we used to have to beat each other off with sticks and clubs, Jake.
Pause. You did what now?
You heard me. Okay, we used to beat each other off with sticks and clubs.
I didn't say that. That was Jonathan.
You're using my full legal name, doxing me much?
Jonathan?
What exactly would you do with the sticks and clubs again?
We beat each other off. You know, it's like they're climbing my walls. I got to beat them off my walls.
I don't think
They're outside.
That.
We've got to beat them off our bridge.
I don't think that means what you think it means.
I think I'm using that correctly. Anyways, and then we got spears, and it's like spears had a little bit of range, but you still had to like be like close to them, you know. And then honestly, like most things, the Brits ruined everything with their longbows, right? It's like now warfare is just gay. Okay, this is awful. This is gay. There's clouds of arrows coming at me, and I'm wearing 40 pounds of armor to try and not get punctured by these things. And now I'm slow, and it's like, oh, this is so obnoxious. Okay, it was better when we were beating each other off with sticks and clubs. Okay, the 21st century equivalent of that is drones. But EOTech has a solution, a final solution for drones. Okay, and it's an EMP. Just kidding. Just like DC, everything comes down to an EMP, baby. EOTech reveals counter drone holographic sight, and that's a bit of a misnomer. It's not a specific counter drone holographic sight. It's just a new reticle. All right, it's just a reticle with fast moving holds, basically for flying objects. Okay. EOTech has announced the HWS CUAS counter unmanned aircraft sight, a new holographic weapon sight purpose-built for rapid engagement on both stationary and moving unmanned aircraft. The platform arrives as small, low-cost drones proliferate globally and present documented threats to military installations, personnel, and critical infrastructure. Available in two configurations, EXPS-3 and XPS-3. The CAS features a sophisticated aiming reticle designed specifically around the drone engagement geometry. So it's just a reticle, guys. That's all it is.
Yeah. This is literally them redoing. They're just copying the homework of the Arasaka with the anti-air sight leafs that would pop
right.
out the
Yeah,
side.
exactly. No, this is something that's been around for a long time. It's like even, ACSS reticles and LPVOs and red dots, they've had mover holds for a long time, and that's all that this is. So I think we have 30 mile an hour, 90-degree path. So it would be the left inner dot or right inner dot. So if you're tracking one like perpendicular to you, right, at roughly 30 miles an hour, that's kind of like the speed that we've all settled on. You can use it as a reference point to get close, right? Now, then at 50 meters, you could use the outer chevron. At 50 meters, you use the dots. And at 90 meters, you can use the outer chevrons. While this is like kind of useful, almost like a BDC, right? It gives you a reference point. Like these numbers like never actually line up in reality. It's like you've got angles, you've got distances. So obviously it's never going to be perfectly 90 degrees. It's never perfectly going to be 30 yards or 50 yards or 90 yards. It's going to be, a 47-degree angle at 32 miles an hour at 61 yards. And it's like, I don't know, bro, just somewhere in between there, dude.
That's why you fire a lot, you sweep across it, and then you die. And that's life, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. It's like, what's more effective than this? It's still shotguns. It's like all the footage that I see of people surviving drone encounters, it's like 2 or 3 guys on the back of a vehicle shooting down drones with shotguns and multiples of them, right? Having a fancy reticle in your 5.56 rifle, I would much rather have a shotgun. Thank you, please, and thank you. All right. Something that gives me a lot of forgiveness in terms of my shot displacement, right? In terms of the spread that I've got, not too much, but some, right? And then, you should probably practice. You should probably practice with clay pigeons because they're dirt cheap and you can do all sorts of wacky stuff with them in wacky scenarios and get people trained up real quick on how to counter drones like that. Using a 5.56 to counter drones, not a fan. Not a fan personally, which is why we've seen the 308 bifurcated bullets, the 5.56 bifurcated bullets, where it's like either steel balls, so you get 2 or 3 steel balls in a shell, so it kind of acts like a mini shotgun, or you have the segmented bullets where you get like 3 mini bullets that fire as 1 bullet and then break apart and then, disperse and give you a little bit more forgiveness when it comes to drones. But I think at the end of the day, the East has it right. You just use a shotgun. That's what it is. Yeah. And again, these aren't new. I like how they put up the specifications as if they're not identical to what's currently on the market. And with holographic, it's literally just a reticle plate that goes on the inside. So there's no like new emitter, there's no anything. It's just a plate system that goes on the inside, and you can theoretically swap them out to whatever you want.
Well, it's
not
also
complicated.
EOTech. I mean, they're kind of high on their own farts in some regard. They're basically unopposed, or they have been unopposed in the industry for a long time as far as providing a holographic.
Yeah. Well,
I
and
don't know, man.
it's an easy update, you know. So I feel like this might help someone somewhere, but I don't feel like this is a good final solution to the problem, right? There's other things that we could be doing to really solve the drone, which is EMPing certain places at certain
The
times.
final solution to the problem is getting rid of all the furry troon drone operators.
It's true. It's true. Now, speaking of furry troons, let's talk about Geisley, shall we? Because Geisley, they teased their high car submission with the GFR X, which is now out in the wild. I have a regular GFR, not a GFR X for extreme, but they have teased and released their new high car submission, which is essentially a beefed up, Super Duty is essentially what it is. It's like we got cool bolts, we got cool barrels, and we're going to be slamming, screaming hot 5.56 through an 11.5-inch barrel. Okay. It's not that complicated. Also, everybody's scalloping out their rails, their front rails now, so you can do cable management. Cool. Get it? But yeah, it's just going to be special barrels and bolts. They have a longer version here with Bendy Bill himself, the man, the myth, the legend. Okay. Introducing our first iteration of the high car project, engineered for high velocity, accuracy, and consistent performance at distance considered unattainable for 5.56, all in a compact 11.5-inch frame. So what this does, excuse me, is this gives you 20-inch ballistics in an 11.5-inch barrel. What it does.
Nice.
It gives you 3,000 plus FPS with like 62 grain, 64 grain projectiles. So M855A1 plus, which is a 64 grain tungsten penetrator going like 3,200 FPS, right? That's hot. That's screaming hot. And then your 77 grain match loads going about 2750. How do they do that? Well, they have teamed up with NAS3 and some of the other, federal, what's their peak alloy case technology to, you guessed it, get 85,000 PSI, 80,000 PSI. I don't know how they fit that many in those little cases, but they do. And they're loading them really hot with steel case technology.
So many PSIs. Imagine the lawsuits.
Imagine the lawsuits you could get. Well, that's why we've crammed all of them into shells and we're executing them. It's actually much funnier that way. Now, of course, since they're handling firearms, we get pixelated Bill and a mosaic blur Bill. You guys are going to love it. Don't worry.
In America, what you're witnessing here is high-speed product development by an all-American company owned by Americans, and everything made in our American factory in North Wales, Pennsylvania. This is the Geisley High Car, hyper velocity, improved combat assault rifle. This is the new SOCOM program, and this is Geisley's first iteration in this program. And with me here today is Dean and Adam. These are the two lead engineers on this project. I'm going to ask them some questions about this because you see it's tricked out, not as a carbine. It's 11.5-inch barrel, but we got a 2-20 knife force on this. Dean, you're shooting this in the match today along with Adam, right?
That's right.
What kind of distances have you gotten this out to?
Over 800 today.
Does it connect at 800 yards?
Absolutely. Yep.
So they're saying 800 yards, 1 MOA, 2,700 FPS with the 77 grain CR matching, which again is just basically 20-inch ballistics.
So,
good.
Isn't it kind of misleading for them to call it hyper velocity? Because isn't hypersonic like an actual
term
that means something?
You have to remember that this is a military contract. They did not name it high car. Geisley is not naming it the high car. So this is the military contract requirements. So now, why 11.5-inch barrels? Well, everyone has decided, almost universally, the military gun tube, that 11.5 inches for a barrel is the correct barrel length. It is where you get enough barrel enough dwell time with, standard gas systems to handle enough velocity. It's like, I know everybody's like, oh, well, just carry a 20 inch, just carry a 20 inch, just carry a 20 inch. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that with performance modifiers, whether that be suppressors, lights, lasers, XM157s, the whole shebang. Okay. Everybody is going shorter and shorter and shorter, but also like, how do we maintain distance capabilities? How do we maintain lethality? Well, just like with the NGSW program, it's with high pressure ammo. Not really a way around it, unless we're going bullpups, but nobody's going bullpups. We're going high pressure ammo. All right. And so that is what the high car is. Now, Geisley has not only do they have a proprietary blend of bolt with their Carpenter 158 Plus, they also have a proprietary barrel blend as well with their new GNB 200, right? So they have proprietary barrels and bolts that will be used in the high car contract with a brand new rail system, which we'll get into. And I actually think their rail is the best upgrade to the current Super Duty lineup. Like, high car is a thing. High car will probably do well because, congratulations, it's just 5.56 with a new case, right? So we update some barrels and bolts and everything else can stay the same. Magazines stay the same. Systems basically stay the same. Controls all stay the same, right? You don't need to train somebody up on the NGSW, the M7 and M8. You just hand them an AR-15 looking thing that has a special barrel and bolt, and it's going to work great. If I had to pick one program that's actually going to be around in 10 years, it's going to be high car. Because again, it's just another 5.56 that's really hot. That's it.
Are they going to make sure the special bullets cannot fire in the normal guns? Or is that just
here's the thing.
a fun little thing?
They can fire in the normal thing.
They can?
They can, yes. It will be dimensionally the same. Yes, it will almost certainly cause problems, right? So the problems that they're trying to get around with high car is bolt life and barrel life, which is why everybody's going to be doing something special. Sons of Liberty Gunworks, for their high car contract, is going to be using the Armad barrel, right? The very special French blend of steel that's super hard, super long barrel life, because I think for the requirements, they need 10,000 rounds of barrel life. Right? With a standard barrel right now, you're probably looking at like 2,000 rounds of barrel life. It's going to be a barrel burner, right? Like a Wildcat cartridge, like 6 GT or 6 Dasher, right? It's a Wildcat right now. And with Geisley, so they're going to be using their GNB 200 with their special forged Carpenter 158 bolts, probably new geometry as well. You could technically fire. I mean, it'd be like a piston hot 5.56, just like 110 ASA Actual said that you can load 120,000 PSI in a 5.56 case and get away with it. So what's 80,000 PSI, right? It's probably fine.
It's nothing.
At least one I'm
Glimmerman says, John, I'll disagree with you on 20-inch. Been to war with it, not a flat range with a shot timer, raw performance. Well, yeah, everybody agrees that people went to war with it, but it's the same thing as people in the Revolutionary War went to war with a musket. People in the Civil War used single shots. It's like, yep, they were used and they were quite effective, but I'm talking about what people want nowadays and what the military has settled on. This isn't just me saying this. The military has settled on 10-inch for the NGSW program, 10-inch for the M8, and 11.5 for a 5.56. That's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about it.
Also, Rob O'Neill went to war with an MP7 and a harem of concubines. So
that's the thing. It's like conscripts in Africa use a rusted out AK, and it's like, sure, but I mean, it doesn't mean we have to, right? And I agree that people can still use a 20-inch to great effect, but I'm talking about like what our military is moving towards is 11.5 or 10.5. That's it.
One MOA at an 11.5-inch barrel. But here's the kicker, Adam. You did the ammunition on this, right?
I did, yeah.
What kind of velocity do you get out of this 11.5 barrel? Tell us about the ammo.
Yo, about 2,700 feet per second and a 77 grain SMK.
So
they're going to be getting, the long range performance of essentially a Mark 12, right? This is going to put up Mark 12 numbers in terms of accuracy, in terms of velocity, all that sort of fun stuff. But it's going to be an 11.5-inch package, right? So who doesn't want a DMR that's a pound lighter and 7 inches shorter. Right? Why not?
True.
Wasn't over 85,000 psi, what would the velocity be?
In and around 2350, 2300.
So you see the capability that the U.S. Special Operations soldier can get with the Geisley high car.
And again, it's at the end of the day, it's not actually that special, right? Like, what are we talking about? We're talking about 300 FPS more in a 5.56 system, right? Now they're using it to shorten the barrel. You as a civilian, you can do whatever the heck you want. You don't want to spend high car prices? That's fine. Just, get an 18, 20-inch barrel, get some good hot M193, and you'll be fine, right? You'll get essentially the same performance out of it, right? You'll just be dealing with something bigger and heavier. But the military, which has, spoiler alert, is paid for by you and I, they want something more specific, and that's what they're going with. So I don't think high car is going to replace a normal AR, a normal 5.56, for like 20 years, right? There is so much economic momentum behind brass-cased 5.56 that in the civilian market, it will take decades to phase out. It just will. There's billions of 5.56 cases. There's millions and millions and millions of rounds per year production of 5.56 cases. There's so many millions, of ARs floating around, like maybe even 100 million ARs floating around in this country right now. Probably more than 100 million. Because I think, what do we have? 500 million firearms? Maybe only 100 million.
That seems a little high.
50 to 100 million. Relax. Okay, relax. I know people were saying 2.7 million, but I think the numbers are higher. Okay. Personally, I'm not a Holocaust denier. I'm a Holocaust supplier. I actually think it was 6 trillion. You're anti-Semitic if you don't think it was 6 trillion. But anyways, that's not what we were talking about. We were talking about high car. I don't know how we got on there. But there's probably like 50 to 100 million ARs in the country, okay? So the high car is never going to become the new standard for like decades. All right, let's see right here. Let's get some close-ups of it. So what I like about it is actually the new rail system. So they've all gone with the much, much beefier receivers and extensions. It is much thicker, much more rigid than the Super Duty rails that are currently offered. I saw somebody quote that they put a 50-pound weight on the end of the rail and it only shifted like 1 MOA or 0.2 MOA or something like that. They were claiming something ridiculous. I don't know if that's actually true. You can see that it is using the standard Mod 1A controls, so it's going to be full ambi, which I quite like. I don't have any problem with the Mod 1A controls, but that rail is actually significantly better than what we're currently seeing. Now, people are asking if you buy a new high car, which these are not available yet. There's no price. If I'm going to guess on a price, guys, don't get too upset. 4,000 to 6,000, I think, is where these rifles are going to sit, between 4 and 6. Geisley's current GFRs, depending on caliber, are between like 3 and 4. So a GFR X, I'm going to guess, is about 4 to 5K, somewhere in that range. The rails are going to be better. The bolts and barrels are going to be, specialized. But really, that's about it. Since you as a civilian probably aren't going to be getting much of the peak alloy ammo, and if you do, you're going to be spending $1 to $2 per round on it, there's no real advantage right now. Like, if you buy a high car and, you can get it to run with standard pressure ammo, you're not getting any benefit out of it other than a nicer rail,
Are they even going to sell this rifle?
They will, of course.
To civilians?
Well, because here's the thing. They're going after a SOCOM contract with it. If they don't get the SOCOM contract, I guarantee you they need to recoup their money somehow. So it's going to be with MIL, LE, other contracts, foreign contracts, or with the American public. So like they're selling, like, because they won the contract with the MRGGA, right? And they're selling that to civilians. So I don't know why they wouldn't sell this to civilians as well, since they're already manufacturing, right? These are finalized products that are in competition for a military contract. If they win, they're coming to the civilian market. If they lose, it's also coming to the civilian market. I guarantee you. Yes, Grantham will probably have one of the first videos on it, which will be fine. Okay, I'm interested in it. I want to see the barrels and bolts. I want to see the rail. Do I think it's going to be worth it?
I want to see how his hairline's doing.
Well, listen, we talk about Turkish guns and give people crap for Turkish guns all of the time, deservedly so, okay? But Turkish hairlines never fail, bro. They're holding up good. All right.
Are you speaking from personal experience, John?
As well, listen, I shaved my head like 2 months ago, and I had to have a full transplant to get my hair back. Okay, I saw somebody said my hair grows like a chibi plant, kind of does. But anyways, hi car. I think it's cool for the future. I don't think it's cool right now. Right? Nobody should be, slamming their credit card on the table like, give me it now. You're not going to be able to get the ammo for it unless you're hand loading or you're spending a lot of money on it. It's very, very expensive. And if you're buying it just to shoot standard pressure 5.56, like what's the point? Like, what's the point, guys? But I do think it's cool. I think it'll stick around. I think it's the one program that has some possibility of becoming the new standard in 20 years, in a long period of time. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to your guys' support. Okay, guys? All right. Yes, always armed panda. Remember Constantinople. Perhaps within our lifetime, we can return to Constantinople. That'd be pretty based. All right. Richard, you good to hang up for a while?
Yeah, at least for another few minutes.
Okay, perfect. If you need to take off, just let me know. Alrighty. Well, actually, it's not on here, Jake, but it's on here in spirit. Is the Handsome Horse dropped $20 to start off the stream, but he did it before I got into StreamYard, so StreamYards did not record it, but I know what he wants. Free Dugan, Christ is King, and of course, Big Toe, Money Mondays, a classic one for the discerning gentleman in chat.
Money, this is a song of the summer shit. You know it's funny. Walk on stage with no shoes on. All I need is feet, boy, I'm too gone. Hey, Jake Money, Big Toe Money. This is a song of the summer shit. You know it's funny. Walk on stage with no shoes on. All I need is feet, boy, I'm too gone. My feet feel good. Your feet where they should. Y'all just sitting in the grass with a cigarette. Jake Money, Big Toe Money. That's a bigger check. Walking in, everybody.
Dude, I saw Honest Joe Cyclops was in the chat earlier. I wonder if he just got flashbanged by his first ever Big Toe Money.
Who is that?
You don't know Joe Cyclops? He's like a classic OG gun tuber, It's pretty, he does like,
No.
I don't know, dog.
You don't know him? No? Really? It's like,
I'm like Logan.
Fancy-esque content.
I'm like Logan when it comes to gun tubers. I'm just like blissfully ignorant, very naive.
Where'd he go? There he is. Y'all some weirdos. True. Oh yeah. Okay, let me pull him up for you. Cyclops.
Yes.
Joe Guns.
Yeah, these people are weird.
Yeah, 250,000 subs, dude. Look at him. Unbelievable. You guys don't know the classics, Cyclops videos, Joe with Rhea?
No.
I'm shocked that he was here. But anyways.
Good for him.
Subarctic Psycho for 5 says, situation normal, all foulered up. That's right. All foulered up. Thank you, Subarctic Psycho. Appreciate you, sir. Zanico for 2 says, press 1 if you've met Richard in person. 2. Press 2. Thank you, Zanico. Appreciate you. Oh, yeah. You guys had like a cookout, and I saw you guys were shooting some fun guns, right? How did that go, Richard?
Indeed, we were. We got to shoot all sorts of stuff. It was a good day, aside from the fact that Zanico is fired.
You cut out on us. We heard Zanico got fired, but nothing else.
Oh, he got fired from his job as meteorologist.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Zany. That's not fun. Why did he get fired?
Because he said it wasn't supposed to rain, and it rained for like an hour.
Oh,
and we almost got blown away.
See, that's my problem, Richard, is you're so dry with your humor. I'm just like trying to discern, was that a joke? Amorai Boy for 2 says, are you going to staccato us on time? Oh, true. Yes. If I don't have a $199 yearly subscription, I will not be early to stream. For every person who watches the stream too, okay? For every person, I need $199 a year to be on time. Thank you. Thank you, Amorai Boy. Cody Fisher for $20 drops the 3 crosses. Thank you very much, Cody. I hope you're having a great day today. We got to pull out some classics here. We know Jake loves them.
You don't get to ask those questions. What's wrong with you, Mom? Why are you so scared?
That one's good. I like that one. Now, have you guys followed up with the Candace Owens, Andrew Wilson drama that's been going on lately, dude. Like they've been trying to get together with a debate, and I want that to happen so bad because it would be so funny.
I heard they were trying to get a debate going, and Andrew Wilson requested Michael Knowles to be the moderator,
Mhm.
and he did a whole podcast response where he's like, "No," he's like, "While I'm flattered with the offer, I just heard about a bunch of money that's going around, and I don't really want to be involved in making money off of my friend's death. So you guys can go do that on your own, and I'm just not going to be involved." I'm like, "Hey, good for him, I guess."
Truk? Yeah, no, they offered Candace $500,000 to do the debate. Insane.
Yeah.
Crazy money. And I just want to listen to her talk for like 3 hours and be grilled by someone who's like, pretty good at what he does, right? I don't agree with Andrew Wilson on everything, of course, but like Candace is a psycho. Candace is nuts, right? She just says nothingness for hours on end. Like meaningless woman prattle. Meaningless black woman prattle as well. Canine AIDS for 200 joules says, "Jammin'." Appreciate that. Thank you.
I love the profile picture, by the way.
It is good.
A good one.
Speaking of good, Frank Castle for 5 says, "So late and gay, it's insane." All right. Well, hey, I was watching a podcast. Okay. Can't start my own podcast when I'm watching somebody else's. Thank you, Frank Castle. Art Vandalay for 2 says, "Thank you for a goated Seinfeld reference." That's true. I know. It makes Doc the Benevolent sad, though. Dentist needs dentist. Yeah, dentist sucks. Chud Holden, member for 9 months, says, "Richard Chad Gassy." All right, you guys are playing the PFP game again, I see. Thank you very much, Chud Holden.
I do still have that one.
Oh, there you go. Heck yeah, Chad Gassy. Peter Parker for $20 says, "Christ is King. Pray the Rosary." Now, there's actually nothing wrong with the Rosary I don't think there's anything wrong with Protestants or Orthodox with the Rosary. It's just not like ingrained into us in the same way, right? Orthodox have like prayer ropes and other things, but not specifically the Rosary. Although, like, you don't have any issues with the Rosary, do you, Jake?
I don't know. I'd have to look into it. It's not something I was ever taught growing up, so I'd have to look into it and see exactly what I'm praying.
Yeah, make sure you're not theologically, contradicting yourself.
Yeah, assuming I'm not saying something like my Savior, the Holy Roman Catholic Church, and the Pope, then I mean it's probably okay.
That's right. Yes, you pray to the current Pope. Yes, for salvation. The one true Holy Catholic Pope. I mean Church. Sorry, my bad. Thank you, Peter Parker. I appreciate that. And yeah, if you guys are Catholic, you should be praying the Rosary. Here's a good one though for $20. Yes, and that is Slam Frank with a black woman playing Anne Frank, it's so Jewish and funny. It's wonderful. Okay. When you have a vagina. Block Shooter for $5 says, "John, you missed a great get together at Zany's yesterday. By the way, Richard is a much better tickler than you." Fake news. Nobody's a better tickler than me. Take that back.
I don't know.
Mods ban that man. Thank you, Glock Shooter. Scyther Llama for 67 joules says 6'7". Appreciate that. Milspec Max, member for 3 months, says, "Sending prayers for Jake's downfall." Aww.
Thank you. Oh shit, it's only 300. Damn. I sincerely appreciate that warm sentiment.
Eric Bonsnoid for 10 joules says, "Happy poop. I'm glad your poop is going well. It's always good when you have a good poop." Doc the Benevolent for 2 says, "Lawyers are worse than dentists." See, that I agree with. I think lawyers are like, in terms of occupations, like it's got to be like rabbi, lawyer, dentist, right?
Yeah, but aren't those one and the same?
Dude, if my dentist is a rabbi lawyer, I'm just calling it quits right there, dude.
No,
I'm not letting that guy in my
mouth. The lawyer and the rabbi.
My only argument is that when you need a dentist, you don't really need a dentist, but when you need a lawyer, you probably really do need a lawyer. The effect on your life is a little more severe. Because what is a dentist going to do? I could just pull my teeth out if they start getting
What if you really need fingers in your mouth? Zanico for 2 says, Richard, you left your IUD at my place. Just put it in yourself, bro. It's transferable, don't you know?
IED, and we blew that up before I left.
Yeah, that's not what he meant. CM Scar, remember for 4 months, says, Christ is king. Thank you very much, CM Scar. Appreciate you, sir. Husk the third for 5 says, no, 1911 Syndicate has that Adderall snorting Mario looking dude who knows everything about every gun ever made. Dude, so true. So
Who?
true, my dude. 1911 Syndicate?
I don't know who the Mario
You're talking about RDR
is.
gear back in the day. RDR gear used to be on 1911 Syndicate all the time.
Oh, I just know the ginger and the big tall guy
Yeah.
who's not on there apparently anymore.
Although, you know what? You wear a mask, and the redhead guy's name is Jake. So you wouldn't be moonlighting on me, would you?
Are you guys talking about
No.
the Asian gentleman who was on there too?
Yeah, RDR gear.
I guess I didn't realize he had his own channel.
Yeah, well, that's what he does. He sells stuff. He sells like holsters and nylon, I want to say. Yeah.
1911 synagogue. Good one, Sephardic Psycho.
There you go. That's good. Amorai Boy for 2 says Ben can get his hands on the Glock 15 Kyber clone. He could. I don't know if he's going to travel to that part of the country. You know, I don't think that's on his itinerary. I'll ask him though. Thank you, Amorai Boy. Iron Within for 5 says, I bet if Dirty Kid sold Crocs, Jake would like them. Big Toe, Money Mondays. Would you like them, Jake?
No, I don't own anything from Dirty Kid, so I'm not a cool gun community guy. I don't have my shirt that says the ATF is gay.
It's true.
But
how do we know that they're gay if I don't have a shirt
Kid.
that I paid $20 for telling me that they're gay?
So talking, I grin like that. Everybody laughing, but he still go when that shoelace tight. He don't fall.
That was enough. Thank you. Paulie B for $20 says, I effing hate my generation. That's it. That's the super chat for $20. I'm sorry, man. It happens. Well, you get a taser face for that, bro.
Taser.
One of the greatest clips of all time. Thank you very much for that, Paulie B. Very based of you. Jim Eagle for 2 says, imagine if PSR learned about Jake's toes.
I'd rather not have that become a thing.
I could tell him. I could send it to him. I could ask him what he thinks because like he makes music as well. He could probably make a banger.
He's into
he
that.
Could make
kind
a
of
banger
stuff.
Jake's Toes track. How much? I need to ask him how much for a commission.
Do it.
Thank you, Jim Eagle. Iron Within for 5 says, I love Ben. Just a dude on the internet handing out L's to influencers left and right. With the most mild criticism, too. It's like these people in the gun industry are just kind of pathetic, right? Thank you, Iron Within. It's like you mildly critique somebody's bullpup design and they copyright strike your channel because they're upsetty spaghetti at you. It's like, all right, bro. Tokyo Lloyd drops... Is this an incantation? Is this like code that's going to brick your computer if you type it in? I don't know. Thank you, Tokyo Lloyd, for whatever that is. Iron Within for 2 says, John, talk in a British car voice for a whole stream. What is a British car voice?
Like Jeremy Clarkson?
Jeremy Clarkson. Oh, I'm not good at that. Do they have a British voice filter? Let me see real fast. That could be funny, right? You guys
Jeremy
think that would be
Clarkson
super funny.
Jeremy Clarkson got kicked off of the BBC for being mildly
Bro, you got kicked off the
offensive.
BBC, but for other reasons.
For being mildly offensive to British people, which is very easy to do.
Shoot. Let's see. 8-bit, no. There's a pig cop. What the heck? What does this sound like? Hello? Check 1, check 2. Is it good? Is it bad? What is this?
You gotta scream some like some cop things.
10-4. Oh, that's awful. Yuck. Thank you, Iron Within. Ben Giver for 800 jewels. Husky. All right. Don't gotta call me out like that. Thank you, Ben Giver. Sniff Mustard Gas for 5 says, I'm now a proud father of an adorable girl, thinking of getting her the Mini 22 long rifle Mosin already. Very based. Congratulations, sir. That is a great blessing. I'm sure you will have a wonderful time. My daughter is the only child that loves me. The rest of them look at me like a trampoline. That's all that I am. I'm I'm an amusement park ride to them. You know, it's like pick me up, throw me around, flip me around, play with me, play with me, play with me. Only my daughter actually loves me for me. Okay. Thank you, I Sniff Mustard Gas. Polly B for 2 says, no, in real life. Yes. The Candyman, dude. He's coming back. Let's bring the Candyman back. That's right. I'm dropping an EMP in real life, not in Minecraft. DC, you're getting it. Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Watch out. Beware. Crimpin' Ain't Easy for $10 says, a problem people don't think about removing items from the NFA is states who only allow them because they're protected items will be able to ban them like any accessory. I don't agree, but such is life. I agree that's going to be a problem for some people in the future. But right now, considering the only states that are claimants on the GOA lawsuit are red states, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. But certainly, yes, blue states will use any opportunity that they can to, you know, remove stuff from the NFA or like remove your ability to purchase it for sure. Thank you, Kryptonite.
I feel like this, in conjunction with a favorable opinion on the assault weapons ban from the Supreme Court, would probably be okay.
We'd probably make it out all right.
Yeah.
Criminal Easy for 2 says EOTech makes a new shotgun site. Fixed it. It's not even a new site though. I feel like calling it a new site is insulting to new things. It's just a new reticle. CM Scar says everyone's gay but us. True. My but us not gay. Thank you, CM Scar. Andy Cody for $20 says, I'm late, but I sympathize with Ben. I had bad Walther steel frames with extraction issues. Then had the poor customer service experience. Walther defenders were ridiculous. I still appreciate you guys for actually listening to what happened. Well, thank you very much, Andy Cody. You know, I'm glad that we could be there for you, at least. You know, we couldn't help you with anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, real bad experiences happen. The worst, the most annoying thing to me in the world is when I show any issue of anything and some retard says, but I've shot 500 rounds and mine has been fine. It's like, I don't care that yours has been fine. Mine hasn't. You retard, you know? It's like somebody defending their Toyota Prius or name another like trash to your car. It's like, oh, well, mine's been fine. It's like, yeah, that doesn't like knock out everybody else who's had issues with their product. It's like, shut up. It's like, we get it. It happens.
Yeah. Cody, maybe next time you should contact Walther instead of just airing it out like this. I really think
right. That was Walther's customer service right there to the guy.
This is a hit piece right here. Okay.
Well, actually, you know what? You were too poor. You went with the Walther steel frame rather than a Fowler. So, I mean, listen, this is my response to not getting a Fowler. Come on.
Somebody get these b***ers out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Andy Cody. Andy Cody, member for 12 months, says 1 year together, heart. Don't screenshot that. Amorite Boy for 2 says, my wife was bumping to BTM. All right. See, people are getting it on to your song, Jake. How does that make you feel that your toes are responsible for bringing people into this world, Jake? Like that's such a responsibility that your toes bear. Now you look like a true Muslim wife right there. That's peak Muslim wife.
Kanye now.
Floating Point VAR for 5 says, first time I get to catch a live show. Thanks for keeping me entertained at work. Well, thank you for the 5. It's very kind of you. I'm glad that we can help entertain you while you're doing real work. We're just here like beating each other off and, you know, you're actually doing the hard work. Graham Bergdorf for 10 says, happy Big Toe Money Mondays. John, do you know of the other guys on the Gun.Deals channel? How does that relationship work? I don't remember if you've ever spoken about it before. Also got my first can. I love it. What was it? I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear you got your first scan. So the other guy that works on Gun.Deals is Drew from Beyond Seclusion. We have no relationship. We talk very infrequently. We've had like one actual conversation. So the way it works is he uploads videos and gets paid. And the way that it works for me is I upload videos and get paid. And then we schedule them out. It's a very, like, there is no real relationship there, right? So the Gun.Deals channel is not mine, right? I upload videos to it, I schedule videos on it, and I get paid for it. That's it. That's like the entire thing. I'll do shows for him or some other stuff like that. Drew's deal is, I think, exactly the same, which is he uploads videos and gets paid for it.
So
Yeah, exactly. Yes. What now? That's the fun part is that the content of the videos does not matter. It's just I upload videos and get paid for them, regardless if they're positive or negative. Because we don't have any relationships with manufacturers other than like PSA, and I don't do any PSA videos, so it works out for me. Jury Seller for $20 says just cause Jade Toe money. Now, unfortunately, I don't have Jade Toe money as a sounder, so I will have to get it for you. Where did it go? Around the fire. Jade Toe money. There it is, dude. Everybody always asks for this one because it's the best one. Harder and harder as the song goes, bro. I let that go for way too long, but that was very funny. Honestly, it was just because of your reaction. Thank you, Jury Seller. I appreciate that. Dick Cheney's Heart for 2 says Jake straightened up his place for the show. Yes, he did. He does a good job at that.
I just moved my camera. I got a new monitor, so I had to move stuff around.
Yeah. Nice. I can feel my eyes narrowing, and you should fry up a cat. True. Bushmaster over on Rumble says, would Ben doing the tour and getting a free gun be the industry equivalent of taking a tour of the Holy Land and kissing the wall? Ooh, no, that would be SIG. Like if you get a custom SIG and Ron Cohen makes you kiss the I don't know, Indo-Mim boxes or something like that. That would be the equivalent of the wall in Israel. Thank you for that, though. Appreciate that. All right, over on Ko-Fi, Mr. Gunton Gear from last stream, because it came in like at the end and I forgot to get to it because it was a 6.5 hour stream, says, Halo, best be renaming that shit to Galo. Oh, bro. It was very mean of you, Mr. Gunton Gear. Great name, though. Gideon.
We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun on Halo night.
I did. No, we're going to do it again on Friday.
100 people that stuck through to the end.
Yeah, but that's the 6 hours into a stream at like 2:00 in the morning. There were like 500 people when we started. Okay, which is good.
Yeah.
For a gaming stream on a non-gaming channel, it's fine.
Yeah. Next time we should not invite black people.
Dude, that was so funny, dude. Okay, I was going to say this. All of the rage bait that we've gone over on this stream, all of the evil of the world that we've confronted, all of the people doing evil stuff, you have never gotten as animated as you have dealing with one half black dude. That was amazing. You got so mad on that stream. If you want to hear like 4 hard R's back to back, go like 5 hours deep into that Friday night stream and you will be amazed, okay, at the levels of racism on display, okay? Truly insane. That was fun, though. Gideon becomes a Ko-Fi caffeine creep. Sam Toaster becomes a Ko-Fi caffeine creep. Hoopa Troopa becomes a Ko-Fi caffeine creep at the $10 level. Thank you. Ford Enthusiast becomes a Ko-Fi caffeine creep. Screamin' Kegels, funny, becomes a Ko-Fi caffeine creep. Holly B for $20 says, had a real interest in John Galt's M-Bar for the love of the game, and he talked about Jeets negatively based, but not gonna lie, his excessive emphasis on anonymity for what's just a DIY gun design was itself a red flag. Turns out his skin is comically thin, transparent even. Very, very true. This is literally John Galt when I was talking about his product, okay? Him crying to YouTube. Genosian for 3 says, regarding the guy talking about using 20 inches in GWatt, just because you did doesn't mean it's still good. Same thing with the ACOG. It was good 20 years ago. There are better options now. Well, again, I think 20 inches are still usable. I think the ACOG is still usable. I don't think these things just become bad, but I think people's preferences move on, right? From certain things. It's fine. It's not a bad thing that the times change and people move on to other products and other stuff. So yeah, just is what it is. Thank you, Genotion. Appreciate that, sir. Alrighty, now we're gonna get into Rage Bay. Okay. We're 2 hours deep, but before we do, Richard, you gotta take off, sir.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys letting me hang out once again.
Of course.
I hope everybody has
I'm
a
glad you guys
wonderful-
had a good hangout yesterday, a good cookout. Hope that helped raise the spirits and everything. Always good hanging out with family and friends. And
Yeah, it was a wonderful cookout. We had Uncrustables.
based.
Yes,
Dude, I know people love Uncrustables. I think they're all psychos.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah,
gooey
it was a good
coated.
day. It was a good
But
day.
it's okay.
So, yeah.
All
Anyway,
right, we're all a little goy sometimes. I'm a goy.
See you, Richard.
you guys
Have a good night,
have
Richard. Appreciate you, sir.
Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Good night.
What if they were biting your toes, Jake? Would you let them clean your toes or no?
John, enough.
Jake? It's never enough, okay? Graham Bergdorf for 2 says, just a little 22 can Warrior Systems Legionary. Okay, that's the nice thing about 22 cans is like I get that some 22 cans are better than other, but if you're shooting subsonic 22, like, does it really matter all that much? Does it really matter all that much? I don't think so. But you know what does matter, Jake?
What?
Doctors, okay? Doctors matter. And this is not the colloquial doctor, which happens to be a black person. This is a real doctor, okay? But this doctor's special. Woman born deaf and blind just became the UK's first deaf-blind doctor. Says she relies on her naturally heightened sense of touch.
Dude, I just accept my fate at that point. If I see this is my doctor.
Okay. Every now and again, I get sent something and I'm like, nope, that's a joke. This is satire. That is obviously not real. So the first thing I do is I Google the name and I'm like, let's see here. Let's see if this is real. Israel mentioned, yes. So now, Jake, I might have spoiled it there real fast, but what do you think her biggest hurdle was to becoming a doctor?
I don't know, not being able to see anything.
No, that's what you would think, you ableist bigot.
Being able to hear anything?
No, that's what you would think, you ableist bigot.
Wait. Is it being a woman?
Close. You're still being an ableist bigot, though. It was discrimination. Yeah, that's right. The biggest hurdle for her to overcome being deaf and blind was discrimination. Alexandra Adams says the biggest hurdle in becoming UK's first deaf-blind doctor has been discrimination, not disability. Okay, here's the thing, Jake. You're going into, your checkup black or deaf and blind, Boyd.
Dude, I'll just leave.
What is the point in going? It's like, hey, doc, I need you to check out this rash on my arm.
Yeah.
She's like grabbing your coat, like, oh, wow, it feels so rough. It's like, nope, that's not my arm. That's my pants. What are you doing?
Whoa.
No,
literally though, like I'm just walking out at that point because deaf and blind, I'm sorry, I don't think you can do your job. I really don't. Black, like, say what you will. I went to an urgent care one time and I had a black doctor or a black PA or whatever it was come in there, barely spoke English, couldn't understand what she was saying. Also a woman doctor. And then asked me after I showed her the wound on my finger, asked me what I wanted her to do without giving me any options. She's like, "What do you want to do about it?"
Based? No, Jake. This is a money making scheme here. You have to take advantage of the medical system. You're like,
I don't need drugs.
Morphine and fent.
No, I don't want drugs.
No, I know you don't want them, but you're selling them, Jake. Giving you financial advice. You're like, oh yeah, I need a 60-day supply of morphine and fent, tablet form, please. Small bottles, unmarked. Yeah?
No.
Drop it off. No, Glimmerman has a good point. So he says, what's the difference between discernment and discrimination? That's the thing. they're trying to eliminate discernment, right? They're trying to equate all discernment is discrimination, which, like, if we're going to play those silly word games, I would just agree with you. Yes, you should discriminate who your doctor is. You should discriminate who your kids' teachers are, who your kids' doctors are, who you're allowed to have your kids around, right? You should discriminate. Yes, not all choices are the same. Not all choices are just as good, right? You absolutely should discriminate. Now, of course, discernment sounds nicer, but if we're going to play stupid word games, yeah, just we should discriminate against people like this. Spoiler alert, I don't want you anywhere near diagnosing my child's cough or sickness or whatever else it might be. I just don't think you're going to be as good. You know? I think this is just a modernity wrapped up into one image. I have to pretend that the deaf blind woman is just as able as someone else. Nah. No thanks.
Yeah. Dr. Helen Keller over here. And we know Helen Keller faked it. So
it's true.
Like we can't use Helen Keller as precedent and say, well, if Helen Keller could write a book, then this lady can be a doctor. No.
Well, here we go. Let's get into. I'm trying to ease into it a little bit. There's one really heavy bit of rage bait, but just we're gonna ease into it a little bit. So, regardless of whatever account this is from an August 8th parade. Now, you and I probably have a different version of parade from ethnics. When I think of a parade, like we used to go, like our small little town in rural Washington used to put on a parade every year. It would be Winlock Egg Days, okay? Because we have the world's largest egg in Winlock, Washington. Not really, but anyways, you'd have a parade down Main Street. It'd be classic cars. It'd be people throwing out candy. It'd be, the 4-H groups and all the other stuff. And all the kids and all the families. And when I was a kid, it was very homogenous, okay, in this small town. It was great, okay? We'd all stand on the sidewalks, and there'd be horses and cars and floats and all the other fun stuff that would go by. And, there'd be a car show afterwards and like food vendors and all the other fun stuff. It was great. I loved it every year as a kid. Going to that was like the highlight. Got bags and bags of candy. Terrible for you, of course, right? But kids could run around and have fun. It was safe and clean. Ethnics have a different type of parade. It's a little more seasoned, right? They be seasoned in their parades. And it goes about as good or bad as you would expect.
I don't see any woods in the chat yet. Nope, don't see any.
Your early parade didn't have a mosh pit?
No. We had Shriners on go-karts with their little fez hats.
That sounds like fun. See, cause if you just told me this was Planet of the Apes or a zombie movie, where they're like mogging people, I'd be like, yeah, okay. They're just the infected are mobbing, they're doing their thing, running down the streets, doing takeovers. Yep, this is a horror movie for sure. No. This is just downtown, bro. This is just the weekend parade. What's wrong? You don't season your parades? Bigot. All right. Lots of discrimination going on in the chat. Now, they're not only are they seasoning their parades, but they're also seasoning their funerals. Okay. Because ironic, right? Multiple dead after fight leads to shooting at a funeral over a parking spot. Now, it is ironic that, of course, we're at a funeral and then they decide to kill each other over a parking spot. Go ahead.
So did the person at the funeral die over a parking spot, or did the fight at the funeral erupt because of a parking spot at the funeral?
So the order of events is they were at a funeral and then the fight erupts over a parking spot for somebody who had already died.
Okay.
So, I mean, listen, you just don't have seasoned funerals. You just need to season your funerals a little more.
It's going down. It's going down.
It's going down.
It's going down. It's going down.
Yeah.
A funeral turned into a tragedy after an argument over a parking spot reportedly escalated into a shooting, leaving multiple people dead and several others injured. Authorities are investigating what led to the deadly violence. Police say a dispute over a parking space outside a funeral escalated into gunfire, resulting in multiple fatalities and additional injuries. Emergency responders rushed victims to nearby hospitals while officers secured the scene. Investigators are interviewing witnesses, reviewing surveillance footage, and working to determine exactly how the confrontation unfolded and whether additional suspects were involved. Charges are expected as the investigation continues.
Amazing.
Well, as people are saying in chat, like, this is just good business, right? I think the funeral homes should pay agitators. We should, like, this is a good business model, right? You send agitators to, you know, people, spirits are already high, you have a death in the family, just have people fight it out, right? And then, you know, get some more business later on. Duh. Right? What?
This guy in the chat is making me laugh all night. Nicholas. I think he's a Dirty Kid fan because he came in real hot when the Dirty Kid stuff was going on. He's just
Where's Nicholas at? Why don't I see him?
Nicholas DiFranzo. Sounds Italian.
Italian. I didn't know we had an ethnic in chat. Gosh.
He's been
Nick Curtum? This guy?
No. It's right above Subarctic Psycho. If you can see that. It's at 10.
I'm scrolling back. I don't see him.
Maybe you have him blocked.
No, I see. I'm in StreamYards. Is he not in StreamYards? Is it one of those things where he's in the live chat but not in?
Yeah.
He's got an Italian keyboard. Italian. Yeah.
He might not be in StreamYards. But yeah, he's just been crying all night and it's really funny.
Wait, you're talking about Sean Weiland?
No.
Sorry, which one? Because I see Subarctic Psycho.
Nicholas DiFranzo. Go up farther.
Up way farther? Like, how far back in chat are you, bro?
This is a total sidetrack.
Unbelievable.
It was like
dude.
right after Polly B's super chat.
Right
I'm not
after
that
Pauly
far
B's
back in
super
chat.
chat? Bro, what is going on?
Yeah.
I do not see him.
You must have
He's
him
gone.
blocked,
I'm
or he
looking in
blocked you or something?
in all chat. I'm looking in all chat on YouTube, and then over here in Nicholas DeFranz. Yeah, that's wrong again, Jake.
He's just been crying
John is
all
blind. I must be blind. I apologize. I see him now commenting. Okay. My apologies. Whatever, dude. Anyways, John, turn off the pasta blocker. That's true. Yes. I have an auto Italian blocker. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You know what we need though is we need millennial hate. Okay. When millennials begin to hate, because Matt Wall, who I have a couple of critiques for, of course, but listen, every now and again, he posts a banger. All right. That's just right on, spot on. Me and Matt Walsh are interlocked here when it comes to what we need to be doing with certain ethnics. All right. Matt Walsh, look at all the mugshots. There's no reason for this animal to still be alive. Based and truth pilled. It's completely insane that we don't execute chronically violent barbarians, you can call them what they are, who do nothing with their lives except inflict suffering on innocent people. Now, if you have not seen this video, I do warn you that it is quite violent. Here's Joel Webben. What is he? Baptist pastor? Want to say?
I think so. I think he is.
Yeah.
Some kind of Baptist pastor.
Yeah. White fathers have a moral obligation to instruct their daughters that if they see a black man walking in their direction, they should quickly and discreetly cross to the other side of the street, which is true. If this is racist, then a racist father is a good father. Also true. The way the world works, you need to teach your children the truth of interacting with these people. And I use that term extremely loosely for this animal who should, of course, be put down and summarily executed. And again, be warned that this video is traumatic. Oops, sorry.
The real issue, nigga. Issue, nigga. That's the real issue, nigga. That's the real issue, nigga.
Black looping immediately. Just no prefrontal cortex. Any slight stress, he's set off. He's chimping out, as the kids say, right? Just nothing going on behind the eyes.
Issue, nigga. That's the real issue, nigga. That's the real issue, nigga. You sitting here playing with me, nigga. That's the real issue, nigga. July 21st is the real issue, nigga. July 21st, that's the real issue. Nah, don't wave to me. You still talking? You still talking? July 21st?
So, girl waves at him. Retard. Move away. You see an agitated animal walking your way. You get out of his way. You do not wave at them. These are the same types of foids that will unironically vote for more immigration and more of these people and reduced crime laws and all that other stuff, by the way. So while This individual instance is, of course, tragic. The animal needs to be taken out and put down in society. Keep in mind that foids like this need to be woken up to the fact that this is the reality of the world you have created. You voted for this. This is what you get.
Say like you. Say like you. He like.
Like, she's gone. She's out. She's not dead, but she's out. She's gone. She's not in there right now.
He likes my son. Motherfucker.
And just a disgusting animal, right? Hitting her while she's on the ground. She's out. She's gone. She got 100% sucker punched by a retarded animal, hit her head on the pavement on the way down. She's out. This guy does just need to be removed from society. And you can look up again his other arrest history. It's just Dickwan Hunt, right? Do I have to pretend that this person is real? Do I have to pretend that this person has value to society?
Those are his yearbook photos.
I keep making the same joke over and over again. It just happens to be true that they don't take photos of themselves. They just use mug shots for the time lapse, right? That's what they do because they can't figure out how to work a camera or something like that. Not entirely sure. But no, this is the face. This is what you voted for. And this animal will literally just loop and be awful and evil and horrifying. And then he attacks more women. Shocker. Get away from them.
Fuck you, bro, nigga.
So with that McDonald's shit. What? So that McDonald's shit, bitch. You want to run, bitch? You want to run, motherfucker? Huh? I bet you run again, motherfucker. I bet you run again, motherfucker.
Yeah, somebody just needs to kill him. Like, he needs to be put down like a dog in the street.
You said something else? You said something? You said something, motherfucker? You said something?
Like, there's somebody needs to step up with a gun, put him down like a dog.
Playing, nigga. You playing, nigga. You fucking playing, nigga. What's up with that McDonald's? You done?
Realistically,
And remember,
we don't.
sorry, go ahead.
We don't live in a society where women can be alone outside. Like, I know I sound like a Muslim right now, but we realistically don't. It's like kind of risky for a woman to go out on her own and walk around.
If these type of people exist, yes.
Yeah, I mean, what they do. I mean, you can close your eyes and imagine that they're not there, but they're there looking at you intently, whatever's going on inside their brains, thinking about how they want to kill Whitey. So,
well, remember, like, all these women are in the same mental state as Irina Zarutska. Every single one of them, right? Irina Zarutska gets stabbed in the neck, in the back, not expecting it, not looking around, doesn't care. Woman walking towards this animal, waves at him, instantly sucker punch, right? If he had a knife or a gun, she would have been dead, right? All of these women are exactly the same, right? Which is why I think it's very effective when Sam Hyde was doing his "This is you," basically. This is your sister. This is your mother. Like, this is you. All these people. Because all these women, spoiler alert, act the same. That could be your daughter, your wife, your sister, your mother, your grandma. Remember the grandma in Seattle that got hit in the head with a 2x4 with a bolt through it, took out her eyeball? Like, these people are just disgusting animals. And if you as a woman, like, listen, okay, there's 2 foids in the chat. Okay, statistically, because it's like 99.1% male on my audience, there's 2 foids in the chat right now. If you see a black man or any ethnic, you just walk away from them. You just get away from them. You put something in between you and that person, or preferably, have a male figure in your life to take care of you, right? Sorry, that's the world that foids like you have created. Not you as an individual, but foids in general.
If you think by being nice to them, you won't offend them, and if you were to like avoid them, you would offend them, you're going to offend them either way. So you might as well stay far away from them and just give them a wide berth. Or ideally walk with a man who has a gun, or carry a gun yourself. I'm kind of progressive, John. I think females should carry firearms if they're alone out in public. That's my progressive take. All right.
No, that's fine. You can have your libtard progressive take there, Jake. Okay, I'll allow it on this show. We're a very progressive show here. But just ask yourself the question, what value does this thing have to the world? Like, what benefit does anyone in existence have, any of us have, from this person existing around us? Or any of these people? Or any of these people, right? What value do they bring to us? And that's how we should look at it, right? We have a society that we're forced to live in. You have a duty to me. I have a duty to you. We should be working together for the betterment of our people, what benefit do these people have to us? And if the answer is nothing, then we need, or negative in this case, insanely negative, right? Then we should, like, our goal in life should be to remove the dregs of society, to remove these people who are a net negative on us, on our way of life, on our people, right? That is a moral thing to do, right?
Yeah, it's
To get rid of these people.
for attorneys and Democratic politicians.
Well, listen, there's other problems. Okay, it's not just these people; it's also the judges and the politicians and that sort of stuff too. Okay, don't worry. There's lots of people here that are also the problem. But
Trump,
he
motherfucker,
continues.
and that other motherfucker who raped my son Elijah, I'm gonna fucking kill you, nigga. Give a fuck, nigga. You heard what the fuck I said, motherfucker. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Huh?
I think he's talking to himself. Like, nobody else is there. Nobody's responding to him. It's just him. I think he's talking to himself or his demon.
Shut the fuck up, nigga.
All right, bro. But anyways, yeah, you have no need to exist at all in our society. Society would be noticeably better with you non-existing anymore. You had your chance. Congratulations. Say your final prayers and good night. Because you know what's going to happen is some retarded liberal judge is going to be like, well, obviously he's mentally unwell and therefore not fit to stand a trial. It's like, yeah, obviously he's mentally unwell. However, he still needs to be accountable for his actions and he needs to be removed from society. Now, I apologize for making it really heavy there for a minute as we deal with evil retardation. But now we have more just retardation. Okay, we got cop L's. This is like one of the most insane situation that blows up out of nowhere. So you have a stack of police officers behind what looks like one riot shield that's like a half-size shield. So you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 police officers, one tiny little shield that everybody's hiding behind, and then FOID cops behind doors. And as soon as one thing goes wrong, it's like a comedy sketch. Everything falls apart immediately. Just, if you notice they're literally, one of them is like pointing behind him. I don't know if he's shooting, but it looks like he's shooting pointing behind him as he's running. Which, if true, is like he could very easily just be doming his teammates as he's running away if he's actually shooting. Yeah, you see that guy, like, with his gun behind him? One singular man does not move with his rifle or shotgun. One singular human stands his ground as a dozen officers flee in every direction. They have no idea what's going on. None. A singular human is... Literally, that man is worth every single one of the other officers combined. Is worth more than every single one of the other officers combined.
Show your hands.
He had one job. He has the shield. And I don't even know if he gets shot. He just falls over and drops the shield. He has one job. Again, there's a lot of people shooting. I don't know which one is shooting, okay? I don't have a diagram of everybody that's shooting there, but a lot of shots are getting fired. I believe this is the one man who stands his ground.
Show your hands. Just open the door. Show your hands.
Also, if this guy does shoot, though, the one thing that I'm noticing, Jake, is that the other cop car is directly behind where he's about to start shooting. Now, I don't know if the officer is still in the car. Maybe he's off to the left or off to the right, so it's a clean shot. But I don't know if I would be super comfortable shooting into my buddy's cop car. If he's still in there, though. I don't know if he knows where he is or whatnot, right? So yeah, this officer does his job, right? Squats down a little bit, lowers his frame. I don't know if that's a good or a bad move in this situation. Maintains fire on the subject. And he's the one doing his job as literally every single other human is running away. Now, a bad thing, though, is he shot like 12 times. And the guy's still firing back. So 12 rounds of 5.56 should do the trick, but probably didn't hit and almost any of those shots, unfortunately. And goes for a reload. That's insane. You know, honestly, not a bad reload, though.
I mean, he's using 20 rounders. He fired like 12 and then fired a few more, and he knew he was probably out.
Ah, interesting.
He could have been out, actually. He could
I
have.
mean, he might have been out. Still, 20 rounds is 20 rounds, bro.
Maybe he downloads his 20 round mags because he heard about some guy who did it in Vietnam.
That's true. Yes, that's right. I only load 28 rounds in my magazines. Yeah, I want to see if I can catch this guy right here. Does he shoot back? That's what I want to know, because he could very easily just dome someone behind him, right?
Also, the guy tripping over the other cop is pointing his gun in an interesting direction.
Well, he kind of has to here, right? Because he probably had it down low. He's tripping over his cop, so he moves it off to the right to not, be pointing it at the guy's head, and he's going to flag someone else, right? He's got to move it somewhere, and he just chose there. I mean, straight up would have been better, but fair enough. Like the high ready cool position. You remember when they did the forehead index? It's like, this is where my gun goes.
Yeah.
Keep it safe. Yeah. Again, one man does his job, and I don't know if he actually laid effective fire or not down. Send in the clowns. Yeah. Hey, can we get the clown squad out there? Let's get the clown squad out there for this gun, okay? Damn. Anyways, your tax dollars. Now, speaking of your tax dollars, okay, we're kind of in the funny zone right here. It's not super heavy. It's kind of the funny zone. It's the stupid zone for these types of people. We got a land whale here attempting to break into a Bentley or a Rolls Royce. Sorry, a man tried forcing his way into a stranger's Rolls Royce while she was still sitting in it at the Miami Valet. He then got tased and cuffed for it almost immediately. Whatever he was thinking, trying to climb into an occupied luxury vehicle in broad daylight is a special kind of bold and reckless. It's called ethnic behavior, okay? You don't season your Rolls Royces? Security clearly doesn't hesitate, and honestly, neither should they in a situation like that. What's wrong with people in today is a fair question. It's ironic coming from this account owner, but c'est la vie, all right? Did the guy even die? That's what I want to know. So he's like, you know what? I'm just going to break into this broad daylight. There's these are not tinted windows. There's obviously the owner of the car is still in here. And then the land whale ethnic just gets put down. Also, white Floyd, which is like obviously well-to-do upper class, I would say. You're driving a Rolls Royce at a Valet in some downtown somewhere. Husband's probably worth a lot of money. I wouldn't be shocked if she had very blue politics. Just looking at the stats, all right? I wouldn't be shocked if she had very blue politics. Wait, Gep says the last guy survived? That's insane if true, because if he did, he had to take a dozen rounds? There were like 100 shots fired. So just by volume, surely he got hit like a dozen times.
Who knows?
Hit him again. Well, wait, hearken. If they didn't hit the target, how is it a 5.56L? If they hit the target, that would be a 5.56L because it didn't do its job. But it's like if you miss with 308 or 9 mil or 7.62 by 39, like a miss is a miss.
Unless it's with a 50 cal, then it'll rip your arm off.
That's true. Yeah, even if it goes by your head, it'll rip your head off, Sonny.
Yeah.
It'll kill you with, what do they say? The shockwave. The shockwave from a 50 cal will kill you. And then I remember
a real sniper told me that, so it has to be true.
Wasn't it Mythbusters that shot like 50 cal by like styrofoam cups and it couldn't move the cups?
I don't know. I think Demolition Ranch shot a 50 cal through a house of cards in between the cards and it didn't drop the house of cards. So I don't know, man.
There you go. Contact phase.
Oh, Lord!
Distressed whale noises. Dude, they're like, hey, Art, I love it when there's such a fat person that the single handcuffs are not enough, right? And they have to dual link the handcuffs. That's my favorite one. With some of these people, though, I'm like, obviously there's no forethought involved. So you're surrounded by police and by security. You're still trying to break into the woman's car after they've been called on you. And then you get put down as you should. Well, not as you should, temporarily, of course. Like, at some point, you're like, this is just a normal thing for you. Like, you know, you're going to get, I don't even know if, again, it's like, do they have forethought? Do they know that?
Well,
or is it like free night in jail? Like, is this a desirable outcome for this person, right? Because think about it, like, is he fine with this? Because he probably has a whole rap sheet of other crimes, right? And he's been let off of all those other crimes. So why shouldn't it be the case now? So he's like, I just do it. If I get tased, I go to jail, I get out, and then I do it again, right?
Yeah, I think he's probably, in his defense, just conditioned to know that they're not going to do anything. So maybe he realistically thought he could have just walked up and taken that car. Maybe he's done it in the past and gotten away with it. So
but they were right there on him. That's the thing, is he was trying to get into the woman's car, like with all of them right next to him.
But honestly, he probably saw that there was a lady cop and thought, shit, this will be easy.
I can take her. Man. Also, this is I know he's black, but it's the most Jewish coded hairstyle where he's bald on top with the dread thingies, dreidel hanging off. It's like, ooh, bad look.
Yes.
It's like, pick one disability, okay? You're already black. You don't need to be Jewish as well.
Very enjoy it. Very enjoy that condition.
Huh? He hijacks them Big Macs. Why not a Bentley? That's good. Friar Tuck. No, there's got to be another way to say that. That's funnier. Captain Obvious, yes. Okay, here we go. Here's some more funny ones. All right. Be black. Pulled over, have an open container of vodka, be under the age of 21, right? Just remember that you and I drive the same streets as these people. These people eat up your tax dollars. These people eat up your resources, all right? They're just a disgusting parasitic class. Get lucky and only receive a ticket. Could you imagine, Jake? Like, I've gotten speeding tickets before. Like, that's it. That's as bad as it's been. I've never gotten like a D. I don't drink or anything. But if I were to get like a DUI or a DWI or weed or whatever else it might be, and then they're like, we'll just write you a ticket for this one. I'm like, I just won the lottery, dude. Like, this is insane that I committed like a fairly serious crime, and they're just letting me get away with it, essentially. But because I'm such a retarded bint, I'm going to then not sign the ticket and then escalate to a jail sentence. Right? You've been handed like a golden ticket, a silver ticket. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you don't sign the ticket, then you just don't get the ticket, right? Isn't that how it works?
Right.
Well, you have to sign it, otherwise it's not real.
I think their theory of time is the same as their theories of tickets. It's like, if I don't accept the ticket, I don't pay the ticket. As if they were going to pay the ticket in the first place, dog. Like, it's like black people and credit cards. It's not real. It's just free money as far as they're concerned.
Yeah.
Oop, where'd I go? I must have clicked on something. Okay. Refuse to sign a ticket, knock the ticket book out of the trooper's hand, resist arrest, and then play the Negro hokey pokey. But what did I do? I didn't even do nothing. I need to call my mama. I can't breathe. I'm pregnant. Shit gets so old. All right. Well, here we go. Again, a black Foyd in her natural habitat, escalating a ticket into a felony.
Why do you have a Tito's bottle? You're not even 21, are you?
From my grandma's house, but I'm
gonna just turn around. You gonna catch a couple.
I think your mic's muted, John.
Oh, did I bump it? Hello? What did she say?
About you're not even 21, are you? From my grandma's house, but I'm gonna just turn around. You gonna catch a couple tickets. All right. So right where it says signature, I need you to sign. And you trying to go to jail, ain't you?
So what did I do?
Put your left hand real quick. Do not look. Do not resist. Do not resist.
I didn't even do nothing.
Regular Foy, she's saying she has you got 5 kids out of that? Bodie McBoatface speaks Ebonics. You're my new Ebonics translator, okay? Welcome on board. I need a Ebonics translator. I literally have no idea what I heard there, but I love how she hits it out of his hands. He's like, yeah, you're going to jail. Congratulations. Like, he was so nice to her. That's why, okay? Like, cops, white people in general, stop being nice. They don't deserve it. They didn't earn it. They squander your niceness. They spit on your niceness. Anything that you give to them will be used against you. Do not do that. That's over. That's done with. The patience, the time, the goodwill, if there was ever any, it's all used up. It's all gone. It's all over. Stop wasting yours and my time and my resources. Just get it over with.
Ain't you? So what did I do? Put your left hand real quick. Do not look. Do not resist. Do not resist. I need to call mama. No. Stop.
What am I doing? Oh, no.
Stop.
Oh my God, this is illegal.
One resisting. I don't give a. Turn around. Turn around.
This is illegal.
Turn around. Turn around.
You cannot punch me.
Turn around.
I need to call my mama.
Turn around.
Elbow. Dude, that was a good right hand. A little bit of ground and pound here, okay? Dominated on the ground. Jiu-jitsu not up to par. Damn, absolutely dominant finish here by Islam Makhachev in the first round.
Turn around.
I feel like she's projecting when she says, this is illegal.
Imagine you're so full of hubris. You're driving with an open bottle of vodka in the car. You're under 21. You're not even supposed to be drinking, let alone, drinking and driving at the same time. This is illegal. This is illegal. No. Ground and pound is very legal. Okay. 12 to 6 elbows are also now legal. So congratulations. As long as it's not on the back of the headshot, you're good to go.
Turn around.
You cannot punch me.
Turn around.
I need to call my mama.
Turn around. I'll punch you again if you don't turn around.
You cannot punch me in my face.
Say who?
Oh, my mama.
Who said I can't punch you in your face? Why do you have a Tito's bottle? You're not even. Turn around.
It's funny too, like you said, John.
Turn around.
The idea of like being caught with an open container, facing horrible circumstances, right? The consequences are looming, and then an officer is like, "I'm going to give you a couple tickets," dude. I'd probably be in tears. I'd be like, "I don't deserve this."
Well, think about it. Like you probably saved my life in a metaphorical sense, not a literal sense, in terms of like, I was probably about to lose my job. I might lose custody of my kids. I might get a divorce. Like, there are so many negative outcomes you can have. I'm going to be ashamed to my family. I'm going to be ashamed to my church. Like, everybody's going to know it's going to be awful for you. Employment's going to be more difficult. Like, all of these bad things are about to happen. And an officer, out of the kindness of his heart, is like, I will spare this from you, ma'am. And you spit in his face, metaphorically and literally in this case, right? Just the amount of like evil, right? To repay such kindness with good, right? It's like, I don't know, you come to my house and you ask for, I'm like, I need $20 to get gas, and you get the $20 and then you light their house on fire. That's essentially the equivalent of what you're doing here. You're repaying such kindness with evil.
Yeah. And it's also not unprecedented with certain demographics. It's actually pretty common.
Well, I mean, you know that they said every deportation costs like $2,000, but then if you look at the average net yearly loss of every black person in the States, it's like minus $10,000 to the US. So literally,
like
deporting every single one of them is a net benefit to the tax code.
Haven't we seen these kinds of stories all the time? Like a homeless man getting free food and then like murdering somebody, or
every time they get let out of jail, dude.
Yeah, it's
every
like
single time.
Some old white couple is like, "Here, you can stay at our house for the night."
Yep.
Let you get back up on your feet, and then they get murdered.
You say that. Last week we literally had a teenage kid who was doing landscaping work for a 70-year-old couple, and then he murders all of them. Like the whole family. And then attempts to murder the son as well. Just disgusting, evil behavior. Now here's a funny one, okay? A little bit lighter. We have a Gooner Boomer, okay? My favorite type of boomer, the Gooner Boomer with your middle-aged Latina, okay? And you hate Trump because he's taken your Latina baddies who are taking your children's inheritance because you are retarded Gooner Boomer.
I voted for Trump. I am saying that they are picking up law-abiding citizens. They're destroying families, jobs.
John Gannon is a 75-year-old businessman and lifelong Republican who supported President Trump in 2024.
I wouldn't do that again, not after this fiasco.
His fiancée, 45-year-old Venezuelan immigrant Yasmin Suarez.
70-year-old, divorced, probably has a bunch of kids. It's like, you know what I need? I need a abuela here, okay? Which actually, okay, I will say, for 45 years old, for a Latina, actually not bad. Like usually they're 300 pounds at this point in time, looking like hideous monstrosities. For 45 years old, like I'm not saying good, okay? I'm not saying like attractive, okay? But I'm saying for the age and demographic, like that's not terrible, right? Glimmerman says, I'd fold. Yeah, green card wife. But it's funny, right? Because you know this guy has kids. You know this guy has ex-wives, right? And instead of leaving the inheritance to them, he's giving it to the Latina.
Yeah, but he's
who
also
probably
just
has
like,
her own kids.
He's also just like retarded. He's like, Trump got rid of my girlfriend. It's like he could have married her, got her citizenship. Seems like you have enough money to get her citizenship. You probably
like,
weren't
listen, you're a
planning on it.
70-year-old boomer. Just retire in Venezuela. You can have all of the mid baddies you want for the rest of your life. You'll live like a king. Like if you're just a degenerate retard, just get out of here, dude.
Yeah.
The kids called ice on her. That's based. If true, they're like, no way is my father, my retarded Gooner boomer father, wasting my inheritance on a Venezuelan foid. Ice, get at it. Get at it now.
Like, the total mental disconnect of she wasn't doing anything illegal. Like people just seem to forget that there is such a thing as being in this country illegally, which in itself is a crime.
Correct. Yes. You don't have to be a violent felon to not belong here, right? I don't care that the squatter is sitting on my couch. He doesn't get to be in my house, right? He hasn't done anything violent yet, John. Just let him stay there. It's like, no. How about no? So Big Bean says race mixing is literally disgusting. This might be a hot take for this audience, but some South Americans are basically just Spanish. And like, I know Spanish are like off-white, you know, but it's like, would you date a Mediterranean girl? I think most people would date a Mediterranean girl. Like if you were, you know, an Italian or a Spaniard, right? I mean, that's on the line, but that's like a gray zone, right? I'm not crazy. Like there's a difference between like Mexican, like Native American Mexican that looks like, you know, basically a brown black person, if that makes sense. And someone like that who's like Venezuelan, but obviously has like 90% Spanish DNA, right? The dentist says the fun zone. That's funny. The fun zone. I'm olive. Well, you know, it's like Spanish girls are fine. Italian girls are fine. I know the jokes about them not being white, of course. It's like Irish. Irish is like the most white you could possibly be in like the actual white meaning of the term, right? Mexican versus a Garthinian. Yeah, interesting. Some of the audience would date a horse girl if they existed. Yeah, that's true.
That is true. Some people.
Some people would. We don't know any though.
Reyes was detained by ICE at George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston in late July.
8 ICE agents swarmed Jasmine and detained her, didn't tell us why, and rustled her off into a car.
When you saw that unfold, what went through your mind?
That guy's terrifying.
He is terrifying. Lightspore says I would, but I don't know if that's to horse girls or to Venezuelans because he's Filipino.
It's horse girls. It's horse girls.
Here's my question. If you're already Filipino, do you have the card to race mix with anyone that's not black because you're improving your genes like any direction you go, right? You're like moving up the gene chain, so to speak. I'm talking about from your perspective, of course, from the Filipinos' perspective. It's like anywhere is up basically other than African.
No, he meant horse girls.
He meant horse girls, though, yes.
Well, I was just in total disbelief.
According to her immigration lawyer, Suarez Reyes came to the U.S. legally in 2020.
She's holding up way better than AOC is, okay? AOC is like, what, early 30s, and she's already a torta? This woman's 45. I don't know what she's doing to stave it off.
23, and later applied for asylum, a case that is still ongoing. But her underlying permission to be in the U.S. has lapsed. Some people may say this is what mass deportations look like.
They're not going after the hard guys. That's too difficult. It's easier to pick them up at the airport. You know, it's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Suarez Reyes was arrested as part of a recent crackdown by ICE at airports across the country.
ICE is here. Help us.
Lightsport, you arranged this in the incorrect way. You can't say that I date white women and then my wife is white, because that implies like two things are happening at the same time. Date white women? My wife is white? It's like, wait, no. I dated white women. My wife is white. I have an ex that's a Latina. You guys are funny.
Also, just like the absolute mental gymnastics this guy's doing.
This
to
screenshot right
somehow.
here, dude. This is the man's soul. Actually, this is a perfect screenshot.
But he's somehow like using mental gymnastics to say like, yeah, I voted for this, but I don't like it when it happens to me.
Oh, dude. It's like, well, what? See, I agree with him in a sense, right? Because if we're only going to be getting 250,000 deportations a year, like I want it to all be fighting age males. Like unironically, I want it all to be fighting age males out of the country. Like in the hierarchy of needs, they all need to go. But if I'm only getting 250,000 a year, like I want those guys gone first. So there's an element there that I kind of agree with, but that's under the presupposition that I'm only getting 250,000 a year. I want 10 million a year and I want them all gone.
Yeah, and that's fine. But also, I don't think we should turn away an offer to get rid of any of them. We should, if there's one that is just right there, ripe for the picking at the airport, even already in a great spot to get picked up.
Right. But he's saying it's like if you have 8 ICE officers taking out, Gooner Boomer's Latina plaything, it's like, I feel like those 8 ICE officers could be used to greater effect elsewhere. That's all I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Back in Texas, Gannon says he deeply misses his fiancée, who remains in ICE custody, facing deportation.
Jasmine's.
Well, but here's the crazy thing. Like, maybe I don't know how it works, but if you're taken by ICE and your boyfriend, fiancé, right, you're getting married, is really rich, can't you just willingly deport back to Venezuela, like self-deport, and then get married and then bring her right back? Like you're already engaged. So why is this even like a problem? This is like the most, you're a rich boomer who has a 45-year-old plaything that you're getting married to. Like just get her back to Venezuela, go have the ceremony and bring her back. Like who cares? Right? This is total first world boomer problems here.
First world problems to the extreme.
Yeah.
Good as gold. Love Jasmine. That's it.
We contacted the Department of Homeland Security about this case, but have yet to hear back. Immigrants like Suarez Reyes would typically not have been targeted for deportation and arrest under prior administrations. But the Trump administration has taken the position that anyone whose immigration status has lapsed is fair game for enforcement.
Well, yeah, Biden let in 10 million people, right? That's the latest numbers. Is under the 4 years of the Biden admin, we had 10 million new immigrants, illegal immigrants into the country. So yeah, sorry, bro. Everybody's got to go. Like, there's no other way around this. Like, hey, sorry, if we want to have a country in 20 years, which spoiler alert, we probably won't, in the same way that it is now, anyways. Yeah, they all got to go. Sorry, bro.
Also, are we just assuming she's not involved in any other criminal activity because she's a pretty Latino woman?
No, a 45-year-old
She just
Latino
gets a free
is only into the boomer surely because he has a heart of gold and not a heavy pocketbook.
Like she could
And also,
be.
it's
There's so many
probably a
things that she could be.
pathway.
So many criminal enterprises.
Well, I mean, I would say just her being here is
Sorry,
kind of a
Ron.
criminal enterprise in and of itself. You know, it's
Yeah.
like if she gets in and she gets her green card, is that a pathway for the rest of her lot of children that she surely has? She's 45 years old. I'm sure she has somewhere between 3 and 19 children at 45 years old as a Latina. So we don't really know how many other people that will eventually create a pathway to. A hard on of gold. Yes, not a heart of gold, a hard on of gold, which is ironic. Now, speaking of good parents, okay, that's a boomer parent. That's a bad parent. But how far would you go for your kids? That's really the question that we have to ask ourselves in our day-to-day lives, okay? And I think that honestly, this woman, in some ways, is kind of putting me to shame in how far she would go for her children, okay? Because if this isn't true love, then I don't know what is. Mount Vernon Deputy Commissioner of Public Safety Jennifer Lackard and her 20-year-old son Chase were arrested after authorities say she acted as the getaway driver when her son fired shots at a rival gang member outside the Bronx criminal courthouse. You know, it's like when you say you're there for your kids no matter what. I don't know if that, to me, that doesn't mean drive-by shooter getaway driver, right? I mean, you chauffeur your kids places, but being an accomplice in his crimes, that's crazy.
John, you just don't understand black culture.
Son, we got ops. That's true, dude. Mom, let me hit his shot, man. You got a whip? Oh, jeez. Ride or die, Truk? The woman in charge, ironically, of public safety. How funny is that? Deputy Commissioner of Public Safety. The woman in charge of public safety is doing a gang-related drive-by shooting. Sometimes you have to say it out loud and realize how crazy America is. It's true. You know, the idiocracy type stuff? Like, this is literally that, isn't it? It's like the commissioner for public safety is helping her son do a drive-by because he's in a fight with a rival gang. Like, isn't this just an idiocracy subplot?
It would seem like it is.
Yeah.
I just noticed somebody changed my name on here. Do you have anything to do with that?
What is it?
It said Netanyahu below. I changed it back.
That was Richard. That was not me. I did not touch
Richard.
it.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Richard.
Richard did it. He didn't even notice it. That's funny, bro. Richard should just randomly start changing stuff while we're talking and just, not say anything, wait for the chat to notice it. But no, it gets even funnier though. Gets even funnier. So New York police bigwig who drove a son to gang shooting is sorority sisters with the mayor who gave her the job. And yes, the woman on the left is the mayor. This is like, obviously it's DEI, but it's DEI nepotism, and it's just retarded black voids. Like, that you were promised like diversity is your strength, right? It's so laughable on its face, right? I don't see any Woods in the chat. No Woods at all in the chat. Crazy. That nose has its own zip code. True. But isn't that just like the hellscape that we live in, where this thing on the left appoints this thing on the right to be the commissioner of public safety and then is driving her son around to do drive-by shootings? But don't worry, because we've got good police officers coming to the rescue. We've got a recruitment video for the Connecticut PD in Hindi.
पुलिस ऑफिसर पटेल है। मैं इधर मेरिडन पुलिस विभाग से काम कर रहा हूँ। अगर आपको यहाँ भी काम करना है ऊपर दिए हुए सूत्र पर क्लिक करिए। नमस्कार, मेरा नाम पुलिस ऑफिसर पटेल है। मैं इधर मेरिडन पुलिस विभाग से काम कर रहा हूँ। अगर आपको यहाँ भी काम करना है ऊपर दिए हुए सूत्र पर क्लिक करिए।
Aren't you excited when the Hindi police officer that barely speaks English shows up to help you out with whatever it might be, or to write you a ticket, or to do anything, when he's
No.
probably 85 IQ, hates you, thinks you're disgusting, hates your culture, your way of life, and wants to replace you? Aren't you so excited? It's like the Muslim police officers that have like their own Muslim liaisons in like Dearborn and places like that. Aren't you excited to have a true 2 and 3 tier justice system where they treat their own differently because that's who they're really working for? They're not working for you, the people. Protect and serve. These people don't even have a concept of that. Because it's like, in a high trust society, we expect to sacrifice for your fellow man, right? We expect to do things that are good for your fellow man to make this place better. But you can't do that when there's 9 different ethnic groups all fighting over limited resources and they all hate each other. And only one pretends like it's not happening. And that's white people. They pretend that there is no real ethnic conflict, that everyone can just get along while every other ethnic group is working to screw you over, because they don't care about you in the same way you care about other people, okay? They do not have your values. They might pretend to for a short amount of time because they're parasites, but when push comes to shove, they will always protect and choose their own over you. No, I don't have any Best Buy gift cards. That's funny.
Yeah, this is not a serious country.
No, it's a joke. Now here we have my favorite white criminal of the day. Hassan Piker saying I'm white, LMAO. Now I love this suspect search here. Dark white skin. D. Stevens, 6'1", bald with full beard. Dark white skin, huh? That's crazy, dude.
That's weird.
A dark white skin, that's wild.
Armed and dangerous.
Armed and dangerous. Well, you know those white people, they sure are dangerous. But you know who else is also dangerous? Rapists, okay? I hate my home country so much. By my home country, I just mean like my ethnic heritage from Scotland. Q Manavianan, a non-binary migrant member of Scottish Parliament for the Greens. Has said that the serial rapists are demonized in society and that rape is a spectrum.
Oh. I should try that one. That one
rape is a spectrum.
Dude,
Dude,
I don't
you know,
think
it's like
people,
I was
think
in
people would like
Scotland.
to hear that coming from me. I just have to guess.
Not from an Irish man. I mean, come on. What
Not
are you
from an
talking about?
Irish
Rape is a spectrum, laddie. That's so funny to think about. Yeah, those Irish migrants. You know, but I was in Scotland like 8 years ago. I was visiting the graves of my forefathers. I am in fact in line to the throne through the Duke of Argyll, right? Visiting my castle, the Campbell Castle, up in Scotland. Beautiful place, wonderful, right? Love it up there. Connected to the land in a weird way, right? Yeah, I just I want to go there and do things to these people that pretend to be like me and remove the problem. Dude, hashtag rape Jake. Trending rape Jake. It's actually on a spectrum, okay? There's actually only one person who's exactly the rapiest Jake.
You guys get that trending on X so that it pops up on the side on John's X feed.
Yes, hashtag rape Jake. Anyways, let's listen to what this thing has to say. What kind of name is Q? Is it short for queer?
Kevin Brittingham?
Yeah, true. Non-binary migrant member of Scottish Parliament. A phrase that should never be uttered ever.
And I think our distaste towards...
Don't say our.
And I think our distaste towards rape is towards rape. It's towards the idea of and the act of rape, not towards the myth of this monster rapist, as now we've born to be thinking of it that way. Because there definitely is a demonization of rape, in the sense of it is a spectrum. And I think our
Yeah.
John,
There. Go ahead.
Which one of these two are Scottish?
Neither of them.
Okay.
They are parasites and usurpers. Like, so like my, my forefathers, okay, like Robert the Bruce, people like that. I just think they would kill these people, and rightfully so, right? If they walked into any of the castles or any of these places and we're like, oh yeah, this is ours, and we need to discuss our issues, they'd be like, what is this disgusting monster doing here? And then they would kill them, and then they would laugh about it, and then they would get drunk, and then they would kill each other, right? Because that's what we did. Disgusting. Rape is a spectrum, though. Now, this is one that we covered, but there's a little bit. Well, actually, no, I'm going to skip that one just because we've talked about it before, but it keeps popping up. I don't know. I think that might be it. Maybe we'll just call it there.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that. We're 3 hours in. I'm fine with it. Well, that's enough rage bait. I'm angry enough as it is. Lightspore for 10 months says, just got back from day one of my FDLE firearms class. I'm exhausted, but glad the stream is still going. Well, hey, I'm glad we got some entertainment for you. I apologize that you basically got back in time for rage bait. So
I bet you failed.
Well, if he failed, he also needs to be killed. He's also on the chopping block,
I know.
metaphorically. Well, listen, it's either that or the EMP that's going to get him. Amrai Boy for 2 says at least one good dork doc exists.
Dark doc
exists. No deaf blind dude. That's probably true.
Coming from the Mexican.
Well, maybe he is the dark doc. Yeah, but I mean, look at Ana de Armas. Okay, she's Cuban, but she's Spanish, right? Like she's not. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's a pass, right? That's chill. Thank you, Amright Boy. Appreciate you. Polly B for 2 says they're calling it the blackest headline ever. Yeah, many such cases. You know, I honestly don't even know which one you're referring to. Is it the?
It was
It's the funeral
shooting at the funeral. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Thank you, Polly B. Multiple dead after fight leads to shooting at funeral over parking spot. All right. Glonk Respector for 440 joules says, Unk alert. Based. Thank you. Thank you, Glonk Respector. Real Ghost of War for 30 joules says, clutch. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Lightsport for 2 says, ma'am, these are distractionary strikes, not punches. Yes, that's true. That woman was asking for it, though. What a retarded bent. Unbelievable.
Did you see what she was wearing? She was asking for it.
I saw the color of her skin. Did you see how black she was going back there? Holly B for 5 says SSAs have the least sexual dimorphism in facial traits of all the human races. Anthropological pearls. SSAs? Super secret Asians? Super sexy Asians? Because Asians do look alike. So if you're talking about they have the least like facial delineation, but you're saying sexual dimorphism. What the heck is SSAs? SSA sexual dimorphism. What am I searching here? Holly?
Sub-Saharan Africans.
Yes. Where the men and women look the same, basically. Yeah, of course. There's 1.4 billion of them, or 1.5 billion of them at this point in time. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, let's Sub-Saharan Africans. Yeah, thank you. SSAE. Yeah, I my men went to triggers, Geisley triggers. I'm like, what are you talking about? It Geisley triggers have sexes? I've been fingering a girl trigger this whole time, or a boy trigger? Oh, I didn't mean
the
to.
Curved ones and the flat ones.
True. Are the curvy ones females and then the straight ones are males?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Bill about that.
Bendy Bill. Does that imply Bendy Bill has the curve? So the curved is the male and the straight is the female?
I don't know. I think if you don't have a straight trigger, you're gay, right? Because then that would imply
well, no. If you put your finger on a straight man, like that's gay. But if you put your finger on curves, like that's not gay.
Whatever. I don't know.
Over on Rumble, Davis G rated the stream. Appreciate that, sir. Thank you. I think we're all caught up. Let me check Ko-Fi real fast. I think we can get out of here.
Yeah.
Monoxious becomes a Ko-Fi caffeine creep. Thank you very much, Monoxious. All right, Jake. Damn it. We're about to get out of here. Bojangles for 5 says, I wonder when we just stop talking about it and actually take action. Well, that's the thing, right? You know, that's the gay part about it, is you can't actually just go out there and do as thou wilt. I mean, you can for a short amount of time. but it's not going to have like real meaningful change. So what the plan is kind of right now is to increase the racial consciousness of the American populace, right? It's like, where does change start? It starts with you, right? I'm preaching to the choir here. We're all changed, man. We all understand where the world is going. We're all pretty not black pilled, white pilled on where the world is going, right? But it's our job to then work on our friends, families, and communities, right? And, your online groups, your social groups, whatever it might be. So that's our duty, is to sort of increase the racial consciousness of our brethren to a point where we have enough power where we can actually do something, right? Lone actors, not useful. Not useful, okay? Maybe at a certain point in time, someone can make an argument for that. But yeah, lone actors, not useful. You need it's got to be us. It's got to be all of us.
We'll see what happens Wednesday, all right?
Wednesday morning, true. Nuke? Hey, it's nuke, or we have another illegal batter on our hands, and I think the nuke is easier, okay? An EMP, and high atmosphere EMP, to be clear, okay? I'm not actually going to nuke the Capitol. I'm EMPing the Capitol. It's different. Jacob, like, no, God, no. All right, Jake, what do you got going on, man? Thank you for hanging out, by the way. I appreciate your candor, your time, your beautiful smile under that mask. I know it's there, but I just can't see it. I picture it in my mind, though.
Can you see my eyes? I'm smiling right now.
I know. Your eyes closed. You might be Asian.
I'm not. There's no Asian in me.
There could be, though. Hashtag rape.
No, but yeah, I'm glad to be on here. It's fun hanging out. Everybody go to church on Sunday, read your Bible, pray, be a good man, good godly man. And Christ is King and Lord and God.
Mm-hmm.
The God for the Mormons out there.
The triune God.
Yeah.
To be clear.
The one true God.
The Trinitarian God.
The Trinitarian God. Yeah.
We just keep adding things on it. Specifically the Nicene Constantinopolitan Creed.
Yeah.
Specifically that one.
Yep.
Thundercats for 5 says, return to Christ, get married, have children, increase your status, get into local politics. Yeah, I mean, that's generally the play. And it's not that you have to directly get into local politics, but you can get involved with people who are in local politics, right? It's not that you have to, not everybody's going to be the mayor, commissioner, city council, whatever it might be, right? But you can support those people who are doing that thing. That's what increasing your status is about, right? Because imagine if we had billionaires and millionaires doing the same. Like, imagine if we had this generation's Henry Ford, right? Somebody who is a man of business, has huge political power and a well to funnel into politicians and movements and PACs and all the other things to actually get work done in this country. That's what we need, right? So I think literally just scheming and getting rich is not a bad thing if your plan is to use that to better your people. Okay, that is a noble goal to have. Now, if you're a boomer gooner who is planning on getting rich so that you can import a 30-year-old, 21-year-old Eastern European girl, that's less base. That's just cringe. You're just doing it for yourself. It's like, well, that's not helpful to anyone else. So, but I do agree with that sentiment very much. Thundercats, thank you much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for hanging out on this Monday evening. I hope you had a great stream. I don't think that Culture Warfare podcast is still going. No, they must have just stopped. So thank you very much. Go check those guys out. Thank you for watching. We will see you guys on Wednesday. Christ is King. Christ is God. God bless. Godspeed, gents.